All right, so thank you to Alec who just joined in here. Let me know that this was on True TV as I'm flipping around here. So let's just give you the starting lineups. I'll get the recorder all set here, and then we'll get going. So for the Colorado Avalanche, it's Nathan McKinnon, Evan Rodriguez, Arturi Lehkonen, Bowen Byram, and Kale McCarr. JT Compher, Val Nichushkin, Nico Rantanen, Devin Tays, and Sam Girard. Lars Eller is injured, so it's going to be Darren Helm on the third line with Alex Newhook and Dennis Mulligan, with Aaron Johnson and Josh Manson. Then Ben Myers. Andrew Cogliano is also out, so that could mean Matt Nieto. And on the other side for Logan O'Connor. And then it'll be Alexander Georgiev in net for the Colorado Avalanche and for the Seattle Kraken. It sounds like this: Manny Beniers, Jared McCann, Jordan Eberle, Vince Dunn, and Adam Larson. Alex Wemberg, Jaden Shorts, Morgan Geeky with Jamie Alexiak and Will Borgen. Yanni Gord, Ellie Tolvanen, Oliver Bjorkstrand with Carson Soucy and Justin Schultz. Ryan Donato, Brandon Tanev, and Daniel Sprung with Philip Grubauer. Backing up in the cage for the Seattle Kraken. Alec, this is a huge game. The series is tied at 1, and it's the first ever playoff game at Climate Pledge Arena.
Expect this to be a loud crowd here in Seattle. First game that any Seattle team is going to be playing here since 1919 when the Metropolitans were around. And the first playoff game by a Seattle team to represent the city since 1924 when the Metropolitans lost in the PCHA final to the Vancouver Maroons, if I'm remembering this correctly. So, electric crowd here is all packed up. Same thing, all packed crowd, similar to Seahawks and Mariners games when they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, it's to be loud and proud.
It's going to be a lot of fun here. We already had a couple games going to OT. The Golden Knights beat the Jets in double OT. They surrendered a 3-goal lead. Vegas ended up finishing it off, and we're going to keep track here of the Maple Leafs and the Lightning. We'll let you know what's going on with that. Ryan O'Reilly scored the game winner. And Alec, I mean, it was absolutely nuts. We saw Steven Stamkos drop the gloves with Austin Matthews.
Oh, that was also Matthews' first career fight as well, just to keep track of things. And Tampa, they're dealing with all sorts of adversity heading into that overtime period. So they have to be furious after a disallowed goal and on this trip.
So here we go. In Seattle, in its second season of existence, they're already hosting a playoff game after having a true expansion year, as this is an opportunity for Seattle. Quickly try to get this out of their own zone. And Nathan McKinnon, number 29, will pick this up off the backhand, off the forehand, and this is a good steal. As Seattle look to go left to right, Oliver Bjorkstrand trying to go straight down the middle of the ice as it's Bowen Byram that takes him down. And this is recollected by Ellie Tolvanen. Tolvanen now will get it to the D as this will be flipped in. And now getting right back to Tolvanen to the right side of the red line. Byram still in his face as this is picked up by Evan Rodriguez to be put off the backhand, intercepted by Seattle, and kept in nicely by Will Borgen off the skate before Colorado will pick it up. So Colorado, admittedly, Alec, doesn't have the same amount of depth as they did from last year, and they're going to be in a series here against Seattle.
Sam? Yeah, for sure. As you look at this, the depth from last year isn't comparable. It's much deeper than that of this year. But good job by Philip Grubauer early on to turn away several chances right in front.
Yeah, there was a couple of rebounds there that Grubauer said no to. Tolvanen's still out there. He's trying to get a piece of the puck, and this will be in the high side blue line as it's crisscrossed. Now I'm behind the net, the cage of Grubauer. That's Colorado still with this thing as they work this from the left side of the red line. Sam Girard's pass goes out of the zone, and Seattle can quickly take full-scale line changes as this is dumped back in by the Avalanche. So it's a 1-1 series tie, and this is a pivotal swing game here in Game 3. Suhu goes up 2-1. And Seattle's done very well for themselves, Alec, and Philip Grubauer. He's really provided the goaltending that this team needs if they want to go far.
Yeah, for sure. If you look at up and down the line of Seattle, those help you score no matter who's out there on the ice.
Yes, they do. They certainly draw out all four lines for Dave Hextall's squad. Huge rebound. And Matty Beniers couldn't locate it. Again, that's the jersey that I'm wearing on the part of this stream as this is flipped in now toward the right side of the faceoff. Down a stick chop, take it out of the hand. Everly tried to set it up on the other end for McCann. And now this is chaos. An opportunity for Schultz near the right side. Now that's flipped on and solved by Gergie at the top of his mask. And now more body contact there. Manson delivering a hit. We're going to get a call as the towels are waving a climate pledge.
First power play at Climate Pledge Arena. Here we go. Everyone in Seattle should be hyped up about this one. I think the call. Well, Arturi Lehkonen got knocked off his stick, but that's not what the pony is about. I'm guessing there was about the push down in front of Alexander Georgiev right in front.
Man, this has already been a game that we've seen in the first maybe 2.5 minutes. That's exactly where we're at, where there's been a lot of opportunities, and both of these goaltenders have already been tested pretty good, Alec.
Yep, and now I expect Georgiev to get tested even more now that Ben Myers is in the box for that cross check.
So Ben Myers officially in the box at 2:30, and this will allow Seattle to get their first ever power play here on the playoffs and the climate pledge, as Alec was saying. And this is recollected now, trying to be flipped up off the glass, and this will go into the players' bench. At 17:22, we get a stoppage.
And I'm excited to wonder what's going on with the Leafs Bulls game because, ladies and gentlemen, if one last-minute tying goal wasn't enough, prepare yourselves for two. First, we had Adam Lowry, now Ryan O'Reilly.
And we're going to keep watch on that. Admittedly, it's in the top right of our screen as a break attempted pass there for Colorado. This should be played off the end boards, but it will be Seattle that'll pick it up near the left side of the red line. Oliver Bjorkstrand send this across, and now Seattle will get all settled here with Tolvanen. Make the back pass here. This is power play line number 2. Bjorkstrand will send the drop as Tolvanen will get it in. Georgiev will hold on to the top right of the post on the stand-up as, again, Ben Myers in the box for a slashing call. And this is sent back down the ice. Touches the stick of Grubauer now for Justin Schultz. And Schultz waiting out toward the right side of the wall will instead make that drop pass. And Seattle will attempt to go left to right. Seattle now across the tentacle S. This is short, so spin this around the end boards now. And collected to the left side of the wall. Seattle still patient, trying to move this puck around. This is in the high slot. Beniers was open on the other end, and this could be another breakout pass. And this will get picked up here by O'Connor as he'll flip this back around the kick play. Settle back down by Seattle now with 35 seconds left to go in their power play. John Underwood, the play-by-play being joined by Alec Nava as we take in this historic playoff game for Seattle. Just their second season in a 1-1 series tie with the Colorado Avalanche, the defending Stanley Cup champions. This is good contact near the right side of the wall. This Colorado trying to keep this forced, but I think they're going to blow this play dead with a hand pass.
Get it dark, and I wait to see who gets the first goal at Climate Pledge Arena to get marked down on Jeopardy for maybe 50 or 30 years later.
That's a good call from you on that side because it's definitely going to be a trivia question. And this is going to be a memory, Alec, that, I mean, even you and I watching all this stuff, we'll remember this forever in this game, no matter what the score line is, as it's flipped down. 10 seconds left to go in the Seattle power play. It's the first of the game. We're scoreless here, about 15:30 left to go in the first thereabouts, right when the power play is going to expire. And this gets dumped in. Evan Rodriguez will take a look as Larson dumped it in. This is kept in by Seattle and then spun around the left side of the red line. Seattle now trying to play this off the backhand. And this is a good pickup by the Avalanche as it's sent the other way. And they'll just go ahead and take some changes, and I will pull up my rosters on that side for Seattle as they're in behind the net. Recollected. Yanni Gourde will send this off the backhand. Brandon Tanev, turbo. He's being blasted off the puck near the zebra. Here comes a slap shot. That was Larson that set it up, and Georgiev made a good save.
That thing was blasting at 90 miles an hour. Adam Larson, no problem, blazing one-timers. Fires one from the right point. Probably where you expect Michael Stone of the Calgary Flames to fire some of those one-timers from.
That's an absolutely good call by you. Again, Stone is one of the fastest shots in the league. And I was very surprised that the Calgary Flames would be sitting home because, again, when you think about their point totals, they had more than Florida. Florida's in the postseason against the Boston Bruins, and they're only down 2-1 in that series. Seattle gets this in now off the face-off win, now working in behind the net. Good spin move by Yanni Gourde as he settles this back to the defense, and this can't be held in by Larson. But he'll quickly just chip this the other way with the follow-through, as this will stay with The Colorado Avalanche, they try to look for an outlet passer for Nathan McKinnon. This will rattle around the end boards. In the game between Toronto and Tampa Bay, it's at a stoppage of 14:06 in OT. They go Rantanen with a wrister, and this one is a glove save by Grubauer, and it goes in behind the net. And Seattle will try to find some traction in the other direction. Donato will fire this one in as it's wrapped around the end boards now. 14:15 left to go in the first. It's a 3-1 shots on goal advantage for Seattle. We're still scoreless here in the first. Evan Rodriguez gets away from a double hit, and this is Oliver Bjorkstrand. He's up on the races here against Myers. Finishes his check. Bjorkstrand trying to keep this alive out in front. Couple opportunities for Schultz. I think he fanned on the first one, but this stays with Seattle. Here's Schultz scores!
There you go. Mark that onto the Jeopardy board. So Justin Schultz, a shot for the points, and it found its way through. And look at this crowd. They're all on their feet, waving those towels to the tune of Nirvana.
Man, Alec, that is really cool. I gotta say, Jaden Schwartz, he is the one, the former St. Louis Blue. He's that trivia question, as Alex said, and trying to get tipped out of the air by some hands, but a great job, Alec, for Seattle to keep it alive. Screen out in front, no chance for Gergiev.
Yep, was screened right in front. I believe that was Sam Girard who had that one screening in front of Georgiev. He couldn't see it. Had trouble locating it, and by the time he finally did, it's behind them, right in the net.
No doubt about it. So Seattle takes the early lead. And Alec, this is the third game of the series where Seattle has been out in front. They were out in front 2-0 in game 2 before Colorado found their offense with back-to-back goals in a stretch of about 2 minutes.
There you go.
So Eberle will flip this around, and we'll see what Seattle can do for an encore here. They got the lead, but you know that Colorado's going to push. It's Velnichuskin near the right side wing as this is sent back across. Grubauer took a look at it, but this one near the left side of the blue paint. Seattle with the forehand pass as it's Eberle now. Good sauce in the middle, trying to stick drag and shoot straight away. Beniers with another opportunity, and that's found by Gergiev.
And that's what Seattle is doing. Frustrate the defending champions early on. And they're doing that here to the tune of 5 shots to 1.
This is a great start for Seattle. We will see if they can continue to keep it. But as we said throughout this series, and I'll just give a little quick reset from some of the notes that I have in front. Seattle won the first game 3-1. It was Tolvanen, Wenberg, and Geekie that scored. Grubauer was outstanding. He stopped 34 out of 35. And even when Colorado won game 2, Seattle still raced out to a 2-0 lead in the first behind Schultz and Turbo, Brandon Tanev. And it was, again, Philip Grubauer. He was still superb in the loss. He stopped 38 out of 41. And this is far and away the best that he's played in a Seattle uniform.
Talk about standing on your head against your former team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they're going to need it because, again, when I talked in some of these things in the previews, and I know Alec will agree with this, I think if Seattle was going to go ahead and win this series, they would likely have to have a goaltender bump up about 25 points on their save percentage. But he's done that.
No doubt, because he definitely has. And by the looks of it, he could steal some more games. And if Seattle were to win this series, as you point out, it has to be about him stepping up in the playoffs. And most certainly, he has done so here against his former team.
So, admittedly, Alec, as we're in a commercial break, I just want to ask you, if Seattle does get out of this series, and let's say they do beat the Avalanche, do you think that they're going to go farther?
That could be an interesting question to ask about, because the next team that they can face, as they see over the brackets, could be either one of Dallas or Minnesota. And Minnesota, they're weathering the storm against Dallas and fighting them out with the physicality. So what most people had in their brackets, they're now saying possibly the opposite of what they expect.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I'm just throwing that out there because the way, even let's say we know Colorado's lost some depth, but it's still the defending Stanley Cup champions. And if Seattle were to knock them off, who's to say you can't write them off for the rest of the rounds? They'd be a very dangerous opponent the way that they roll out all 4 lines and play defense.
Yeah,
13-14 left to go in the first here. We're looking at the other score line as well. It's still 3-3 between Toronto and Tampa. About 9:41 left to go in that OT. As this gets knocked away from Devin Tays, but this is kept in the zone just before the pass gets matriculated down. This will find Philip Grubauer. So it's a 1-0 lead for Seattle. And of note, 7-1 on the shots on goal board here as we're watching this one on True TV. And I'm assuming that once the Toronto and Tampa Bay game gets moved over, we will have to switch back over to TBS, but we will figure that out when we get to it. As this is collected now by Comfort. Full stop. We'll fire this around the end boards for Nieto as Tanev will finish his check. Mikko Rantanen out there as well, as this will go back into the Avalanche defensive end. And as Alex said, I know we talked a little bit on the Monday side at the beginning of the week. This is not a Nashville team without Yusei Saros. The Seattle Kraken are definitely a team that can be very formidable, and Colorado is finding that out right now. It's very dangerous when you don't have to just shut down one line. That's how good Seattle is. They can roll out all four. As this is a battle now in the defensive end, and this is recollected by the Avs. 11:55 left to go in the first. It's an early lead for Seattle. Nathan McKinnon, he could be an absolute game breaker. Here's a drop pass, and this one is shot high near the left side of the wall. As it's recollected by Bowen Byram. Good-looking young defenseman for the Avs. McKinnon into the traffic, and this gets deflected. Actually, friendly fire off Arturi Lehkonen as Evan Rodriguez will send this back around. Bowen Byram can walk into a wrist shot if he wants to. It's a slow one and a tip. Nathan McKinnon on the doorstep as Lehkonen gets taken down, and we get a stoppage.
So there's some more offensive chance that Colorado is looking to get consistently over for the rest of the game. And I feel they should do more consistently. So get to the front of the net. That's one key on emphasizing. They sent two players right in front of the net. Those being Arturi Lehkonen and Evan Rodriguez. So that's what you emphasize in crashing the net there. And they want to put that emphasis to send bodies right in the lane.
Yeah, they got to do something, Alec, and they also have to increase their activity level here against Grubauer. We know that he's been hot, but if you're not testing him, you're doing yourself a disservice. I know that that's easy to say as we look at Jared Bednar on the other end, and boy, he's been one of the stalwarts as far as NHL coaching. Randy Beniers will go ahead and get a chance to take this draw, and we will do it again. I believe it's going to be Eller that gets kicked out, and it'll be Beniers one more time. So Beniers can't win it clean, and this will go back to Sam Girard off the backhand opportunity, and that was a lot of power, but that got whistled wide. Recollected now by Colorado as this is spun around off the half. Eller will try to find it as this is Carson Soucy. Will send it the other way near the left side of the red line. Stays with the Avalanche. A great job off of the pass just to get this away back into the defensive zone. This will be Colorado. Patient and taking some wholesale line changes here. 11 minutes left to go in the first. It's a 1-0 lead for Seattle. It was Shorts with the goal, Jaden Shorts. 7-3 on the shot board now, as it's Eller. He tries to locate near the left side faceoff dot. Here's his spin, and eluding there is Nieto. Nieto will pick it back up again. He was reacquired at the trade deadline. He's used to playing in Colorado, as this is recollected by the Seattle Kraken in their own end, and they'll take their time here. Daniel Sprong will have a look at it, but forwards on a little bit of a breakout. As here's a long pass right down the middle of the ice. It's Daniel Sprong, and this one gets deflected up and on a play.
So Seattle have another chance to probably get one more on the board and get this crowd hyped up. And the fans are standing right on their feet right here. Probably, maybe they can do the wave if this game is getting out of hand. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. Meanwhile, I have to wait on these Bulls because that game, ironically enough, same exact score heading into overtime of last year's Game 6.
That is interesting, and we will keep our eyes on it. Right now, we see the time continuing to count down. Manny Beniers probably going to get the Calder. 24 goals, 33 assists, and 57 points as he leads all rookies, and he's getting his first taste of playoff action.
Yeah, he's up there with Stuart Skinner for the Calder Trophy. We'll see who comes away with it.
Alexander Gergiev, he stopped a long shot as Donato is stuck into some pushing and shoving with Johnson.
And speaking of Stuart Skinner, I feel that his team needs to be more disciplined, especially over in the overtime periods, because Game 3 of last night, and I was listening to that along with you and Don.
I'm glad that you called that and said it that exact way, Alec, on that end, because I know there'll be some fans that are kind of thinking about the high stick that shouldn't have been or whatever that is like that. But again, it's another late penalty. Leon Draisaitl was the one that was trying to talk about discipline, and Edmonton just hasn't had it. The Kings took advantage.
Yeah.
And this is recollected now by the Avalanche. 9:55 left to go in the first. New Hook is stuck back up in his own end, and this will be collected the other way as this is recaptured by Seattle with a long outstretched pass, and they'll gain the entry nicely off the backhand. It's Soucy. He's still patient as they'll send this back there for Jaden Shorts. Shorts now will take a look at it with Turbo. Brandon Tanev send this right back around near the right side of the red line. This is still with Seattle. I don't think they held the blue line. That's going to be blown dead.
Yeah, I know that was offside. If there was a slight margin of white ice that was between the puck and the blue line, so yeah, I didn't think they held it in.
If you want to go ahead and invite Ian in, Alec, you can do that on that side. I'll leave you as the co-host. You can take care of all that, and we're following along on the YouTube side. I did ask if the Kraken take a 2-1 series lead against the Avalanche tonight. Just 5 votes, but you all say yes on that side, so we will see what ends up happening.
Is he joining along? Yeah. So how are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Oh, we're doing good. We are trying to follow along in between the OT as well for Toronto and Tampa. That was a wild game, and it's still a wild game.
Well, it's a good. Then I'll tell you what. How about this? You guys can. How about you guys focus primarily on the Avalanche and Kraken, and I'll keep an eye on what's happening in the Lightning and Toronto. I'll switch over to the broadcasts once this is over. Because right now.
Go ahead.
What happened?
Oh no, sorry. I thought it looked like Toronto might have had a shot, but actually, there's a giveaway by the Lightning.
You're welcome, Ben.
The Leafs have Toronto is taking this back into their own zone, but they're currently advancing up towards the blue line. They shoot the puck into the Tampa Bay zone, but there are no Leafs there to corral it, and the puck goes back into the possession of the Wolves.
All right, so there are the updates there for Leafs Bolts. So we're getting right back into action here in Avalanche-Kraken, the first ever playoff game at Climate Floods Arena. Capra Cabin interviewing Jared Bednar.
So Jared Bednar, admittedly, I know last season and with some of the stuff this year, he talked about all the injuries and everything that needed to be done and how the systems needed to be adjusted when you're losing all these star players. But even with all that, Alec, I think he's done a fantastic job for Colorado as they try to defend their championship.
Yep, he is. Championship in all 3 levels, ECHL, AHL, and NHL.
And no doubt about it, as this goes off a couple of Kraken players. We're officially 9 minutes in, left to go here, I should say, in the first. It's a 1-0 lead for Seattle, courtesy of Jaden Shorts, as this is recollected by Arturi Lehkonen and then stolen. Tolvanen will take his time as they can get some full chill line changes here for Dave Hextall's squad. 8 shots to 4 in favor of Seattle, as well as Adam Larson, the former Edmonton Oiler, will flip this one down the ice. Now picked up across the red line. This is almost intercepted by the Avalanche as Nico Rantanen tried to be the first to get to it, but this will be picked up by Seattle. There's a good back pass, and this might allow a flip in there for Shorts to get a piece of it as this eludes Ben Myers. He absorbs a hit, and then Mikko Rantanen can take this right to left with a little bit of a stretch pass. Now this will find a chance for Helm. He'll play this off the backhanded attempt. Comfort will take a look. He'll throw the stick out there as Mikko Rantanen has it, and behind the net, but this goes right to Turbo. Tanev will put this ahead before this gets collected by Colorado and across the red line. And a series of line changes here for Seattle as it touches the stick of Philip Grubauer with 7:50 left to go in the first. Again, we are carrying this one on True TV. TBS still has Toronto and the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's about 4:30 in overtime. Again, Ian will give us the updates on that once we get a goal. Until we can get our focus primarily set up on one game, because there's been a host of OT games, gentlemen, here today. It's been a very good night of action here in the Stanley Cup playoffs as we're pretty much in game threes on all of this side. As this is recollected, Carson Soucy made a good backhanded play in his own end as Colorado was trying to provide a little bit of a pinch. Eberle located as this goes in between a couple of skate plates. And now Colorado quickly on the rush. Here's a drop for Byram. He lets it go, and this is a good block the other way for Seattle. As we get a penalty hand in the air.
I wonder who this call is on about because I didn't catch that. So 7-11 of the first period. 7-11.
Yes, it is. It's open all night at the convenience store. This is going to go against Seattle for a slash, apparently, as I see Dave Hextall none too pleased. And we'll see who it's going to be on.
It's going to be Carson Soucy, who was picked for the expansion draft of the Minnesota Wild, and Colorado on the power play. They have not converted in any one of their 4 tries, and they gave up that shorty to Brandon Tanev last game. So this is a prime opportunity for them to convert.
But Colorado can still be very dangerous on the power play here, Alec, with the personnel that they can provide. So we'll see what they can do. Mikko Rantanen was the one that took the draw. And now it's Kel McCarr here for Nathan MacKinnon. As a chance for Rantanen. Now back to MacKinnon near the left circle. He's patient and will dance. It's McCarr. Give it back to MacKinnon. Fake the bomb near the right dot. Connor McDavid scored a couple goals there last night. Here's MacKinnon. Another block by Seattle. And outreach of the stick. MacKinnon will fire wide near the right post. As there's some body contact near the right side wall. This will go back to the high slot. MacKinnon again with a whistler. And this one goes behind the net. He missed the net 3 straight times. One of them was blocked. Here's Kale. He's in the high slot now. Lets it go. Pinballs off Seattle again. They're doing a great job holding on that box as this is picked up by McCarr. Here's MacKinnon. They'll crisscross. McCarr with an outstretched pass. A great look in the middle of the slot. And what a save by Grubauer.
Oh, how did he get that? Oh, my goodness. Arturi Lekkinen had a great look right in the slot. Man, that was close to getting right in.
Arturi Lekkinen got absolutely robbed. It was right in the middle of the circle, and Grubauer somehow found it. I know we didn't get the miles per hour on that one, but that felt like 100 miles an hour right in front of the slot with a 1T, 1E.
Yeah, the 1T, one of the more dangerous shots in the league. Yeah, those one-timers can go up to 100 miles an hour. I thought this one might have went to in the low 90s.
This is recollected now. It's a chance for Sam Girard. He was one of them to pass across, and another opportunity and another good save, Alec, by Philip Grubauer. These are some great chances. That last one was for Mikko Rantanen.
And what the Avalanche are doing with Mikko Rantanen, whenever there's a face-off at the left circle on the power play, they put him right on the draw. That's what Gabe Landeskog did last year's playoffs and taking face-offs. Because when it's on the right circle, it's Nathan MacKinnon taking those draws as he is right now.
Fellas, we may be coming. Things may be coming to an end here. Just now, Taylor Radich let up 2 moving one-timers that were stopped by Samsonov. And right now, Toronto has possession of the puck in their own zone. They're currently advancing into territory. We'll update if anything comes through. Oh my gosh, Marner just got through four Tampa Bay players, but could not shoot on goal. Again, we'll update if a goal is scored in this first overtime. If not, I will announce that there will be a second overtime.
So Nathan MacKinnon, with a series of pirouettes, he tried to find Mikko Rantanen, and that one got fired high. But Colorado got time for one more rush here with 1 minute left. Here, where they just ended their power play, 5:05 left to go in the first as this is recollected. Wemberg, he was the one that delivered a hit, but this stays in the defensive end of Kraken. What a great setup pass, Evan Rodriguez. We get a chance in the high slot as Girard will fan on it, and the shot gets blocked by some friendly fire. There's Newhook on a piece of it. This is sent back down for Devon Toews. That will be iced. And as Ian was just saying, he got 55 seconds, it looks like, in between Toronto and Tampa before a second overtime. In our game now at the live coverage, it's 1-0 still for Seattle.
And the thing is about the 2 double overtime games so far in these playoffs, We'll see if we don't have a Dagan in double overtime that leads to a goal.
You're just reminding me of Steve Dangle on that side. I'm going to have to go ahead and check those out because you're absolutely right.
The Maple Leafs score! The Maple Leafs win! They take the lead! The series lead 2-1 by stealing one on Tampa's ice. I didn't see who shot it. I will tell you who got the final goal on the replay.
This hit the top of the post as we were stream action in our own game. A couple opportunities for Colorado. It's Taze, and now it's fired up and blockered high. We'll see if Seattle can quickly press the other way. As Ian called it, we will give you the clarification as we get the hand in the air again. Let's just give you the goal reset for the Maple Leaf side, and it looks like I don't have this corrected just yet on my screen.
So the camera is focusing really hard on Morgan Riley. I'm assuming that he's the one that got the final goal. And yes, a wrist shot from way outside the zone, very much near the blue line, and he just risked that in. He just flipped that in.
So again,
let me take a look at this. So off the face-off draw, and this moved up. Yeah, that was quick and right off the face-off. I believe that was Riley. Yeah, Kucherov was used as a screen on that play. So was Braden Point. The irony here, there was a tangle between Riley and Point in the third period that led to Austin Matthews' first career fight in a line brawl. I have to point that as well because line brawls are always fun to watch, no matter if it's a rivalry game, regular season, or if it's a playoff game. So I wanted to point that out. So Riley, a quick shot off the draw from the half wall, got through several players right in front, and the Leafs have taken the 2-1 series lead. They got to be dangerous of it though, because they are 1-9 in their last 10 games when they have a series lead.
That is a heck of that is a very depressing stat if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. That is a very depressing stat. But regardless, Toronto has stolen a game on Tampa's ice.
A quick turnaround from what happened in Game 6 last year.
And also, you got to remember the first game of this series. The Lightning won a game dominated on Toronto's ice. The second game, the Leafs came out firing and got one right back. This time, they're the first ones to capture a win on Tampa's ice. Fellas, I may be overstepping it a bit, but I think the Lightning and Leafs are going to go to a 7-game series.
Do you see overtime in Game 7?
I don't know about overtime, but it's definitely going to a Game 7.
This is an opportunity now for Seattle on the power plays. We just flipped back over to TBS, so we got everything squared away on that end. It's still 1-0 Kraken as one of them blows a tire. Evan Rodriguez with a drop pass and scores! It's short-handed for JT Copper.
Oh, I may be behind on the TBS feed right now because they're just switching over to that side. So Seattle had some good attack early in this power play. And this came on a wacky play. Oh, yes. One of the Kraken blew a tire right there, I believe. Was that Daniel Sprong that blew a tire? Oh, yeah, that was Daniel Sprong that blew a tire. And then Evan Rodriguez finds the man right in front, JT Comfort, who just had a breakout season this year. And he gets rewarded with a shorty. The second shorty of this series, by the way. And we're tied at 1.
You gotta love the forehand backhand. It's a classic move. And JT Compher, I know that was a name that a lot of us had talked about last year to be able to step up and provide some big-time goals. In Colorado, they've been providing a lot of that pressure. And wouldn't you know it, they get a shorthanded goal against Seattle on their power play. So we'll see how they'll respond as this game's now even. They still got 1:20 left to go here on their power play as they'll gain the entry now to the right side of the line, and Beniers will drop it. And Lars Eller will be the one that forced the poke check as Nathan McKinnon, that was Compher out there, he tried to flip this one back across, and this is recollected now by Sprong. He was the one that fell down, and now all of a sudden it just seems like Colorado has a little bit of that pressure as Lars Eller was trying to press, and this will fall back here to Justin Schultz, the former Washington Capitals man. He plays this off the back skate for some reason, and he gets taken down as Jimmy Alexiak was having a look at it, and this is flipped back down to Philip Grubauer. 2:55 left to go in this first. We have a tie game between the Avalanche and Seattle again. It's another one of those pivotal swing games to see who goes up 2-1. This has been a great series so far as it's recollected now across the red line. An entry there for Wenberg as this is picked up off of the stick, sent back around for Seattle. And this will be collected now off the forehand. Get it across the red line as Ellie Tolvanen, patient. He's going to play this in the high slot. He'll get it right back. He's holding on to the right side blue line. Bjorkstrand tried to send it across. In Seattle, looking a little discombobulated as this gets sent back in their own end. Here's a good outstretched pass, Bjorkstrand, and this was shot quickly before the defense arrived, and Georgiev made the save.
So, just a little status update. Rangers-Devils is going to overtime, tied at 1. The third game today that we will have an overtime playoff game. This is going to be exciting.
Man, this just seems like every game, and again, it pretty much is every game so far, and we will see what happens here with Colorado and Seattle. Hopefully you're enjoying your Saturday night. You've kind of taken in hockey the whole day. I'd be jealous on that, and we've had OT everywhere as it's 2:05 left to go in the first, and this is flipped in. It was JT Copper shorthanded from Kel McCarr and Arturi Lehkonen. Some very special talent there for the Avs. And this is a dangerous turnover. Nathan McKinnon, the wrong guy to give it to. And this is a left pad save by Grubauer as it's flipped down the ice across the red line. Trying to be collected by Eberle, but it's a delayed offsides. And this will have to be picked back up as this is an opportunity now for the Avalanche. They'll send this across, and the play was blown dead. Thankfully for Seattle, that would have been dangerous for Grubauer.
Yeah, so much dangerous chances in favor of Colorado right there, and Grubauer getting tested here. And aside from that shorthanded goal, and by no part of his own, but that shorthanded goal, in which it was the defense just Daniel's wrong throwing it higher right there. Grubauer's been all right so far this game.
Yes, he has. Both of these goalies have been pretty good. Go ahead, Ian.
So, hang on a second. I need to make sure this is right. So, I know this is not hockey related, but I just want to give an update on the Lakers and Grizzlies game right now. It is 38-9 Lakers, and they're already in the second quarter.
Really,
Oh my
38-9.
goodness.
This is a good opportunity for Georgiev, and he made a couple of saves as that just stayed out of the right side red line. And now Seattle, they're trying to press in the last minute of 15 of the first stanza as McCann gets turned around. Colorado trying to make the play from the knees, and we get a tripping call against Seattle.
Oh, so this is going to be a great chance for Colorado to get their first lead at Climate Pledge Arena. So bad penalty for Seattle to take. So I'm not at that point now. So Seattle trying to get out or trying to create some offensive tension there, but there's that stick in the lane. That whistles down play. Yeah, that came behind the net. Can't do that.
No, you can't. I know we'll be getting the intermission. I'll have Alec and Ian, since they're here, we'll take care of all the intermission scores on that side as I get all the notes and everything that was typed in for the game story. It'll be at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com per usual. And I think tomorrow I will be covering Dallas and Minnesota on that, and we'll see if I'll have a guest host on that or not. But next week will be Wednesday, Thursday, be the only days I think I'm going to be available. So I have a little bit of a hiatus after that. There's another penalty called.
Yep, and that was because I believe Brandon Tanev jumped, got aggressive and took the puck away and looked like he had a decent shot at a short-handed attempt, but got tripped by number 8.
Kel McCarr.
Kel McCarr.
So Kel McCarr, that's the wrong guy to go in the box at this time. You know what? Honestly, when I look at his second look at it, did you think he honestly needed to trip Tanev there?
I don't think so. I think that was a very, I don't want to say that was a very unwise penalty
And here's a chance the other way. It's Nathan McKinnon, full flight, scores!
Yeah. Oh, man. He just comes in like a bulldozer.
No. I don't think bulldozer is the right phrase. I was thinking more he came in like an F-16 or an F-18. Because that man flew.
I'm gonna say, Alec, I know you like the Sonic the Hedgehog memes and all. How about Sonic the Hedgehog there? You got the shoes and everything else on. He's gone. He was absolutely gone there, Nathan McKinnon. So Kel McCarr goes to the box. McKinnon is the one that finishes it. His 42nd career postseason goal. So 25 seconds left here in the first period, and Colorado has scored 2 straight. And it's not like Seattle hadn't played a bad period, but you have a couple giveaways to the wrong players, and that's how quickly it can end up in the back of your net. We're getting down to the last 10 seconds here of the first period. Battle near the right side of the neutral zone. Will Borgen try to pry it loose? But gentlemen, after one, we got a 2-1 lead for the Avs.
Nice.
There you go, 2-1 lead for the Colorado Avalanche, thanks to Nathan McKinnon, who Connor McGahey of the Avalanche Radio Network called Nate the Great, and for good reason. It's goals like this that make him one of the top players in the league.
So why don't you guys take a hold of the intermission for me on this side? I'm going to type up some notes. I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves here for a few minutes, and I'll be right back.
Sure. Hey, Alec, there is something I need to discuss with you.
So what about this?
So I don't, I'm sure you've been watching hockey all day, but Tree posted a new video today. It's called...
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with him and saying about needing to rebuild after the 2022 playoffs, because you don't let Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang that easily if they want to be Penguins for life. You give them what they want. I think that's the best. Those two were the best moves that Ron Hextall made easily. The Ricardo signing was good. Outside that, it's kind of questions decisions I question. Well, outside Brian Russell's been all right.
I don't know, man. When he really broke it down, as to why they should have rebuilt, it makes a lot of sense. Because outside of the core, you basically have them and the Expendables out there.
So minus Jake Gensel, Raquel, Jalen Zucker.
Right. Besides those guys, but Jeff Carter, I can't even remember a ton of the guys.
I'm just getting some notes typed in for the story, and then we'll give you a reset. I just muted my mic on that end so they can't hear me. Don't talk over.
Outside, if he was right though, outside of Crosby, who's really the superstar talent that you guys have? Listen. Evgeny Malkin, great player, but he's getting old. Chris Letang, getting old. This was the first time, a surprise to me, the first time that Crosby and Malkin were healthy. And they didn't make the playoff. Yeah, man, but to be honest, the Tree is right about one thing, though. Now the Penguins are stuck. They're stuck in the same situation that the Red Wings were stuck in about a decade ago. Now you're locked into all those contracts. You can barely move anything without giving up assets to move them. So, I mean, the best you can hope for is maybe a sneak into the playoffs, just to get destroyed, or possibly, actually the other. See, because what you don't want to have happen is that the Penguins are mediocre. That
Absolutely not.
We all know in sports that is the worst place you can be. So you can only hope for two outcomes. One, you're able to make another deep playoff run that hopefully will end in a cup. Or two, hope that things fall off the rails and you're able to snag a really, really high draft pick for the next superstar once Crosby's time comes. But
there's also that hope as well.
Yeah, but I hate to break it to you, man. It looks like this is going to be rough.
The transition phase as it is.
Yeah.
So overtime between the Devils and Rangers is almost set to go. So we're going to get the scoring out of the way right there. Only 2 goals in this game. The first from Chris Kreider has 5 goals in this series so far from Mika Zibanejad and Patrick Kane. This is the first to not be on the power play. But speaking of power plays, Jack Hughes tied it at 1 from Dougie Hamilton and Jesper Bratt. It's been the same score since the second period.
I didn't even know that this game was still going on.
Yeah, it's tied at 1. It's mostly been a goaltending duel. In Akira Schmid's first career playoff game, 27 saves out of 28, and so far Igor Shesterkin, 22 of 23.
Yeah. Man.
And you speak of overtime winners. The overtime is getting started. Patrick Kane has 5 playoff overtime goals. So if you list off the players with career playoff overtime goals, Kane with 5, Artemi Panarin has 2, including Game 7's overtime, the Game 7 overtime winner in the first round series last year. Then Barclay Goodrow, Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, Eric Holla, and Andre Palat all each have 1.
Yeah, this is I don't often like saying this because every game should have this mentality, but this really is a must-win game for the New Jersey Devils. You don't want to go down. You don't want to go down 3-0. Not against the Rangers, who have enough firepower to just dominate. If the Rangers go up 3-0, the next game, all their firepower is just going to be pelting you to more or less give you a quick and merciful death.
So since I'm back here, and I appreciate you guys filling me in here as we go along, give you some of these notes. I'll just give you a quick little scoring reset. I flipped over to the Devils and the Rangers because I know we have at least 10 minutes to go on the intermission, so we give it some time. So it was Seattle that started out with the goal. It was a 6:08. It was Justin Schultz from D. This one was found by Jaden Shorts and finished past Gergiev at 6:08. And then Colorado, after Seattle took a couple of penalties, they seemed to get on their horse. JT Compher finishes with a beautiful forehand backhand on a shorthanded goal. And then Nathan McKinnon at 19:16, he was shot out of a cannon right out of the breakaway, and a backbreaker goal given up by Seattle as it's 2-1 Colorado after 1.
Yep. So now Rangers Devils gets set to go for overtime. So pick one winner for each team here in this extra frame. So 1 for the Devils, 1 for the Rangers.
I'm going to go with the Devils if he's still out there. I'm going to say Timo Meier. And for the Rangers, I'm going to go with the old classic, Mika Zibanejad.
I am going to have to go with the Devils too, although my answer is going to be different. I think Jack Hughes is going to have 2 goals by the end of this game.
So for me, I'll go John. No,
Chris Kreider's a good one. At least we left some of those up. I didn't want to steal all the prime ones, but we're taking a live look, and we will flip back over to Colorado and Seattle as we're in the middle of the intermission. So we got at least 6 minutes. We can take a look at this one. And gentlemen, as you talked about, every single one of these games right now have gone into OT. We're just waiting to see what happens in between Colorado and Seattle in our featured game.
Yep. And if in fact this Rangers and Devils game does not conclude by the time the second intermission or by the time the second period starts for Seattle and Colorado, I will go ahead and be the eyes and ears for that game, and then rejoin you for Seattle and Colorado once that game has concluded.
Yeah,
and there's been celebrating the Leafs win.
You're going to be carrying a lot of co-pilot duties here, Ian, on this side because every single one of these games have been nasty. I couldn't believe it, gentlemen. I was going to say before I was getting ready for all this stuff in this game, I go ahead, hop in the shower, get everything else all squared away, and I see Vegas blow a 3-goal lead. I just couldn't believe it.
Okay, Braden Schneider had that shot bounced off the pad of Akira Schmid, but Schmid hung onto it. We got a scrum that's developing onto his left, but that is quickly resolved by the officials.
Yeah, Jonas Siegenthaler in there, a little bit with Capo Caco.
Yeah, it's funny. And so his name is Schmid, and a funny thought popped in my head. If anyone remembers the really old animated Peter Pan movie, I think the one that came out in the 60s or 50s, and Captain Hook, whenever he would see the crocodile, the croc, he would yell out,
oh, man. Ball start on the faceoff, by the way. I believe this is Filipino getting tossed out. So he has been sharp in this game. 30 saves now on the night.
And that's a big answer because Vitek Vanacek, you're trying to wonder, they didn't get everything they needed out of him. But again, the Rangers just outplayed New Jersey at Prudential Center. But Akira Schmid now, he's been pretty good.
And no shot attempts in the last 7 minutes for the New Jersey Devils heading into this third minute of overtime. Dawson Mercer at that one poked away, and now it's sent right back in by the Rangers. Dumped down deep below the goal line. Is picked up by Davon Severson. Was the subject of trade rumors last year. He eventually stayed here. Long pass over Tomas Tatar. 70 feet where Mercer could not be centered around as it went past him, and now Mercer will go for a change. Braden Schneider's still out there. The Rangers have won 7 of their last 9 overtime playoff games at MSG, including last year's Game 7 against the Penguins. So Mika Zibanejad continues to look, flips it right back. Ryan Lindgren around the forces go over. The first to it is Patrick Kane. Kane has that one knocked away by Graves, but now Rangers keep this in. However, this is Jacob Trouba. Down low to go for Kane. Kane shoots that one off of Schmid. And now Kreider keeps this in down low, and Zibanejad has it at one. Bounced off his stick. Cesar tried to keep this out, but it's out by Trouba. Down low to go for Kane. Taking Trouba's spot along the point. Kane moving to the high spot. A quick one. And that is Schmid making that stop. Keandre Miller could not keep this in. Now he comes to that with the other way. Here's Jesper Bohlquist. And he'll just decide to shoot this around the near force, and now picking this up is Curtis Lazar. Oh, he gets hammered along the near corner. As the Rangers move this on the other way, not Jonas Siegenthaler, but it's John Marino flipping this up forward. Jesper Pratt after that switch. Timo Meier shoots. Save, rebound, loose, and the Rangers sweep it on away. Vladimir Tarasenko, a nice clearing attempt. Artei Panarin on the other side. Beats it right for Trouba. Trouba gets tied up by Easter, but breaks away from it, and now he flipped down low to Trojan out Fox, and a long-timer on the other side. Schmid goes down. The puck goes over to the far boards where Severson clears it out. Ryan Lindgren on across to his defensive partner, Adam Fox. Forced to go over. Trojan keeps Lindgren as he gains his own. Tyler Mott enters with him. Lindgren shoots it on his backhand. That went up high and into the netting.
Well, I can tell you this, Alec, from just watching it off this live look in New Jersey again, it's not just because they're down 2-0, but they're playing their best game of the series. They're certainly fighting for their lives right now. They had a glorious opportunity. Shesterkin said no, and then that was just brushed away from the blue paint, and it was Timo Meier and Jesper Bratt.
Yep. The admire the trade deadline acquisitions. There's still an intermission report between Avs and Kraken as the Devils win this faceoff. And to get this out of the zone, but racing to it was Adam Fox, who loses that one to Eric Holla, the Hall of Famer, as some people like to call him, and now this puck bounces out of play.
So 15:58 left to go in this OT. Again, as we talked about, it's been a slate of overtime games. And if we give you the full scoreboard here, again, to give you a live call while we were on when it was the Maple Leafs taking out the Lightning 4-3, the Golden Knights, they surrendered a 3-goal lead in the third period, but they won a double overtime. And then this game is in overtime between the Devils and the Rangers, tied at 1.
Michael Mario also his first career playoff goal, so how about that for a double overtime winner? Ryan Lindgren controls behind the net, tries to be out in front, could not get right out. Jack Hughes keeps this in, but that pass was turned right over to Fox. Long stretch pass gloved down by Jack Hughes. He was looking for Mika's advantage at, now he's pursuing. Taken away by Ryan Graves, though. Graves beating Andre Palat. And the puck is bouncing on a round. This lands on the stick of Fox. Up forward, this goes for Zibanejad. Zibanejad on a cross. Kreider. That was knocked away by Graves right in front. Nico Hischier had trouble handling this. This goes down low for the Rangers. But it's pulled out away by Hischier, and this will be flipped all the way to the Rangers' blue line. Set up forward along the Rangers bench. Bounced off the Devil. Now it's picked up by Filipino. Chance to end it. This shot was moving slow. And now Alexis Lafreniere feeding this off for Kito. He gets tied up. Hischier was on him, and now this is taken on away by Pratt. Centering it up for Timo Meier. Timo Meier fighting on some checks. Pratt kicked out by Shesterkin. Wasn't a dangerous chance, though. Schneider finished up forward for one of the Rangers on a 3-on-3. Dumped right up forward. I think it was Alexis Lafreniere who got the pass. It's a 1-1 game. The exact same score heading into the overtime of the last Rangers overtime playoff game. Tied at 1. It was the Carolina Hurricanes winning that one 2-1 on an Ian Cole shot that bounced off of Ryan Lindgren and in. Here comes Benny Trocek, skating around Kevin Ball, feeding out in front, and that was up high and wide. Making his own back is partner Panarin. Now my feet's frozen for some apparent reason.
So Capo Caco will send this all the way back down here for Vinny Trocek, and the Rangers will look to start again. I'll stick with this for a couple more minutes, and then we'll flip back over to our featured as this gets iced against the Rangers.
It might be a little behind on this one, but still again.
So what I just seen is a couple chances, as Alec was talking about Mika Zibanejad trying to find an opportunity there for Kreider. I would have liked to have seen him shoot that one. Again, that wasn't just because I called him a DLT hero, but sometimes you look for a stretch pass and it doesn't connect. Eric Holla will be the one to go ahead and take this draw here for the Devils, as this is a Panarin body contact and send it out off the backhand. And if you are free and available here, Alec, I can flip it back over, but here's the Rangers, and this gets gloved by Schmidt.
Yeah, Vladimir Tarasenko took that shot. Was that him that took the shot?
That's what I see. Yep.
Yeah, but it was Tarasenko receiving the backhand feed from Artemi Panarin. Yep, my feet is right back up and running. So good glove save by Akira Schmidt. The Swiss netminder comes to this game in relief of Vitek Vanacek. And by no fault of Vanacek's own, but the Devils looked lost on the ice in the first two games at Prudential Center. So exactly 6 minutes into this overtime period between the Rangers and Devils, Game 3, the Rangers up 2-0 in the series. The Devils are looking to get this win on the road. Face-off is won by Michael McLeod. This goes over to Jonas Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler leads up through the near side for Tatar as he goes up to his backhand. Vinny Hamilton smoked it wide to net, and now Tatar cannot make this up. This goes over to the neutral zone back for Siegenthaler, the former Washington Capital. Long stretch pass, and then just dump right in. Dawson Mercer leveling on the Rangers. This is playoff hockey, everyone, where all the hits come in all shapes and sizes. Nico Hischier setting this around for Mercer, setting up for Tatar. There's a broken stick on the play. Devils are set up but this pass goes right outside of the Devils' end. No, this is an icing against the Rangers.
So we are going to be getting set here for Colorado and Seattle. They're showing JT Copper short-handed goal. Nathan McKinnon, 42nd playoff goal. Alexander Georgiev, 10 saves and 11 shots on goal for the Avs. Philip Grubauer stopped 9 shots. Jaden Shorts has a goal on 3 shot opportunities and 12 blocks. Was the most in the first period this season for the Kraken.
So David McKinnon continuing his postseason excellence, 42 career playoff goals dating back to 2014, has 2 overtime winners as well. If you speak of overtimes, one in Game 5 in 2014 against Minnesota, the other in 2019 Game 2 against Calgary.
So if we get a scoring update, we will check onto the commercial break for the overtime between New Jersey and the New York Rangers, but we're underway against Colorado and Seattle, as that one's fought off by Georgiev with the right pad and recollected now. So Colorado, we'll try to get this one going left to right again. They are in the cerulean as far as the pants, but they got the white shirts on top of the maroon part of the elbows, and this is picked up by the Seattle Kraken in their navy blue home, as this is at Climate Pledge Arena. This is the first playoff game in their history, and it's just their second season as a franchise. So very, very excited to be able to take this game and alongside Alec Nava and Ian, and we're going to give you the play-by-play and game story and everything else that's done throughout as we turn back to even strength. It's a 2-1 lead here for the Avs, and again, it was just a snap of the fingers there for the Avs to turn it the other way with JT Copper and Nathan McKinnon. It was Jaden Shorts for Seattle that opened the scoring, as this is picked up by Donato, but he's going to need some help. And Evan Rodriguez trying to fight off some body contact, as this is picked off near the right side of the boards, and McCann will send this one back as it's dumped down the ice by Seattle. And Georgiev will take a look at it, but this will fall back to Velnichuskin. Quickly trying to push the other way. 31-2-3 in the regular season, leading after the first period are the Avalanche. And that shot gets fired up into the stomach of Grubauer. And this will be played. Yanni Gord off the reverse hit sends one of the Avalanche flying, as this is sent back around the end boards. Again, Seattle one trailing after 7-16-1. That's not very good on that side, as this is recollected by Oliver Bjorkstrand. And somehow it found Grubauer. He held on.
So all the hard work between you guys. I'm just seeing the reverse hit now as Gord was bracing himself for that contact right nearby the sit pit. Boy, that could have been amazing to see about those reverse hits. Something about them really catches my eye.
And you're going to see this one. You give me that replay you see on Nathan McKinnon.
So Nathan McKinnon with that loose chance right in front, right in the blue paint, and he's been generating countless offense throughout this game here. Yanni Gord was staying in top with him and doing all of the best he can on that defensive side. But then here comes this breakaway goal. Boom. 20 top speed.
He was absolutely shot out of a cannon, as it's Lars Eller trying to win a defensive zone draw. He can't do it. Carson Soucy will put this around the inboards there. It almost bounced in front, but Colorado able to find it and quickly clear this thing down the ice. But this will go against the Avalanche, so they can't change.
So an icing here against the Avalanche. There is another icing in the Rangers-Devils game. Still no change in scoring. Rangers up 34-26 and the shots on goal. And someone's wearing the Matt Zuccarello jersey. Interestingly, he leads the Wild in points in their play in their postseason.
You got a Matt Zuccarello jersey in the Rangers and Devils game?
Yeah, Matt Zuccarello Rangers jersey.
That's very cool on that side. So this gets recollected here. McKinnon from O'Connor. Here's McKinnon. Lets it go. This goes off the side of the backboard and recollected now by Nathan. You're trying to find an opportunity for Logan O'Connor. Step through here. Here's an opportunity to drop. McCann sends this one across. And this gets recollected now by Matty Beniers. Keep it alive off the forehand, but this goes out of play, off sides here, I should say, for Will Borgen. And we'll start this here again. So this will be an opportunity to reset here for Manson for the Avalanche, and they will get an opportunity to take a breath as their forwards will take a change. 13-12 on the shot board in favor of Seattle, but Colorado got a pair of goals as this is sent back around. Mikko Rantanen, that's a great steal and a good save by Grubauer with the right pad as this is sent back around. Bowen Byram will get this as this is flipped and stolen by Seattle, and now we'll see if they can push right to left with L.A. Tolvanen. Tolvanen now will play this off the backboards here for Alexiak, and this one got fanned on as Ben Myers will pick it back up, and now here's Comfort. Good step through. See if he can make something up into the right wall. Here's a drop pass, a little bit for Byram. And this gets knocked away as Mikko Rantanen has to absorb a body check and recollect it. Almost a half trip there, but this is right in front of the referee. He doesn't call it as this stays right out in front. Mikko Rantanen tried to send it to the blue paint a couple of times, but it got blocked by a host of Kraken. This is flip right on near the right side of the wall and recollected off the verse hit again. This is sent back through the neutral zone where Colorado has it. They're patient and will take their time with Sam Girard as he's out there with Johnson off the long stretch pass as this is a double hit on the other end. Lehkonen was the one that got punished with the help of Vince Dunn. Picked up now by Sam Girard as this is sent back around the embankment. Again, the money line is plus 265 for Seattle, so they're starting to think that Colorado is already going to be able to hold it the rest of the way. And we still have 15:45 left to go in the second. It's a 2-1 lead for the Avalanche. They're trying to find a 2-1 series lead. John out here with him, the play-by-play, being joined by Alec Nalban-Kohler, and Ian is also in there. Bill will give us some updates here for the Rangers and the Devils. As that one is at 1-1. This is tipped and a good save by Grubauer as he holds on.
So, Ian, about the Rangers-Devils game, what are you seeing?
So right now it's a battle of puck possession. Right now, neither team seems to want to hold on to the puck. Currently, the Rangers are one of the Rangers players is in New Jersey territory. However, they just gave up the puck again, and now it looks like they're going to steal it back.
Hey, Phoenix Suns, I appreciate it. David, how are you doing, my friend from Canada? Hope everything is good for you. I'm from Michigan.
And the Devils just scored. I'm not sure who it was. Dougie Hamilton.
I got my pick correct.
That's who Alec called, and we got a goal right when you said there was a goal. There's a goal here for the Avalanche. Kel McCarr. It's a 3-1 lead.
Well, poetic that the defensemen were going to score here. And that was a quick one-timer right on the face-off. And Kel McCarr loading up from the right circle, throwing around the same time as Dougie Hamilton had his overtime winner. And the Devils are back in the series, and the Avalanche are just cruising right past the Kraken early on. I know the Avalanche have what it takes to take on other teams in the playoffs right now. It's a 3-1 lead for them. What a ripper.
And Alec, if I wasn't such a poor journalist, I'd have to put some money in the pot because you just called the OT winner in the Devils game. I'd have to send you some, my friend. Good job.
Oh, there you go, Sue.
3-1. That was a great shot there from McCarr. Yeah, that was top shelf. It was stuck right in the top of the left crossbar. Again, every other game that we've had has had OT, so we will see if Seattle can provide that same level of fight, but they're down 2, and Colorado's starting to make that push. And again, if we're being honest with ourselves, gentlemen, didn't you think that Colorado would be able to come out here and maybe punch Seattle in the mouth considering they found their offense in game 2, or am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, although I still think that Seattle's going to pull this off just because I don't know. I just have it's a feeling. There's literally no substance behind it.
So Oliver Bjorkstrand now near the left side of the red line as they'll spin this around the end boards, and this will be recollected. Logan O'Connor will find a chance for Byram as they'll quickly race. Myers is all the way back in his own end trying to get this out as more body contact is finished, and Grubauer will play this with the goal stick. And again, if you're Philip Grubauer, I really don't know how many of those shots, as this one bounces off the backboard. It was Yanni Gord fall right back to him, and he shot it wide. But I don't know how many of those shots that Grubauer would be able to save. Here's another opportunity for the Avalanche, picked up by O'Connor. And this is a good back pass. Yanni Gord trying to set it up as Jaden Shorts. He got canceled off by a host of Colorado Avalanche. Devin Tays was the one that absorbed the hit, and now it's Dennis Mulligan. They'll be patient, trying to make a move. And this is recollected here by Yanni Gord, the former Tampa Bay Lightning man, as this one gets dumped in. Sam Girard with some good body contact against Bjorkstrand as he hits the right boards hard. And now this is sent across for Big Jimmy Alexiak, looking for a tip out of the air. And Georgiev finds it and holds on.
talking about. I wonder, because if you're saying that Seattle comes back and take this, then possibly could we see 4 overtime games on the same day? Oh, yeah, this was a wacky bounce right in front of Alexander Georgiev. Several wacky bounces from the big rig Jamie Oleksiak as we head to commercial break. So, we're pointing out, Ian, could we see 3 overtime games? Or 4 overtime games, I mean.
If we do, I'm gonna have to make sure I'll take a history lesson in my notes and see if we've ever had all overtime games on the same day in the first round, because that would have to be some type of record.
Unless it's happened before and it's just, never been brought up again.
Yeah, and remember last year we had both game 7s in a single day go to overtime. Rangers, Penguins, and Flames Stars. The whole team won both of those games.
Yeah, you're correct about that in last year's playoffs. Those were spectacular ones and ones to remember. So here's the critical question, and now we're sitting in commercial break. Is that win for the Devils, is that enough to get them a 2-2 series tie when they go back to Prudential Center? Because remember, Alec told me at the beginning of this, I think on Monday's side, he thought both teams would win both games on the road, and that's the first 3 games so far have been all road wins.
Well, so who was the starting goal? What was it? So Schmid was making his first start. So I'm guessing the guy before that was Vanacek.
Yeah, Vanacek was the guy before.
All right, so Schmid, except for one goal, stood on his head. Same thing with Shesty. So it's Smead, I think is going to. I don't know if Smead is going to be able to do that again. So if New Jersey is going to take it back to Prudential with a 2-2 tie, it cannot be a goalie duel again. Their offense has to wake up
and down the lineup. So that means not only Jack Hughes and Dougie Hamilton have the goals tonight, but that also means guys like Jesper Bratt, Dawson Mercer, Nico Hischier, Andre Palat, who is Mr. Clutch for Tampa Bay back in his time there.
Right.
So we were just looking at a stat on the Seattle end. They led the NHL with the most 20-point scorers. That kind of shows you how they can roll out all 4 lines. And they're going to need to create some pressure now because the Avs are holding on to a 3-1 lead in the first ever playoff game, the Climate Pledge. Here's an opportunity for Nathan MacKinnon. Off the half spin. Great back pass. They try to get it right back to Nathan MacKinnon near the left dot. Walk right in. Here's a slap. Grubauer down. But Lehkonen in an open net to shoot at, and he couldn't find it as he got stick lifted, and the puck goes up and out of play. My goodness.
So that was a great rush by Colorado on a near 2-on-1. Oh, nice stand right there by Nathan MacKinnon. He had some sick stick handles earlier in this game. Oh, Cole Byron had an open look also as well. Because he had an open look bottom at the right circle. And that was a great opportunity for Colorado to make it 4-1.
When you talk about guys like Kel McCarr and Nathan MacKinnon, from what we saw there, I understand where they are in the series, but you can't tell me those guys aren't superstars. They're absolute game breakers, and everybody in the NHL will be drooling to have players like that when you see those type of sick skills, as this is tied up near the right side of the players' bench, and this will fall back to the Avalanche as this gets flipped. Manson tries to get a piece of it. Yanni Gord will get stuck back in his own end. I'll just try to shovel this back around. Devin Tays will locate it as this gets away there from Yanni Gord and toward the right side of the boards. And now the Avalanche gets stuck in their own end, as this will be an opportunity for Devin Tays. He'll send a pass off the embankment. This is some good body contact by Tolvanen. But here come the Avs again, and now it's Mikko Rantanen. A couple of stick drags, but this will fall back to Grubauer as Matt Nieto gets tied up and the camera cuts away.
So I'm guessing there's a lot of entanglement between these two teams, because I'm not at that point just yet. So Mike B showing Devontae is passing this up, and now that pickup by Nico Mikko Rantanen. Second best forward on the ice. He had a bunch of entanglements and some more good chance by Colorado to get one by Green, but still Grubauer. By no fault of his own, he allowed the goals, but some of them were not his fault.
Yeah.
No, it would have been tough to be able to make any of those saves. You're correct.
I don't know if I said this when we were doing our predictions, Alec, but the one thing that was going to hurt Seattle was their goaltending, because unlike Vegas, they were not able to acquire anything at the deadline too short up. So they're either got to roll with it. So they're either going to have to roll with it. The guy in there right now, Grubauer, or the insanely inconsistent Martin Jones, and that's what's going to kill him.
Kel McCarr dances with the puck, sets up that 1-T for Byram. And that was a good slide over for Grubauer as Myers will collect. This will fall back to Devin Tays. There's a chance now, and this gets deflected, tipped out of the air, Byram, and we get a hand in the air for the referees, and we will see if this goes against the Avalanche.
So there's that one time by Bowen Byram on a great offensive opportunity that Grubauer stayed with the entire way. The Avalanche were just skating circles around the Kraken in the offensive zone with countless zone time. So maybe, I think this is a high stick.
I think it's just blown with a high stick, correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that this puck was played with a high stick. So they want to ensure the safety of the players so that nobody gets poked right in the face.
And again, when you think about the play at the high stick, you can't help but think about yesterday between the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers when Trevor Moore scored the game-winning goal. As this gets recollected now for Jaden Shorts off the drop, and a good save from a Vince Dunn opportunity.
So there's a quick shot and a good save right there. And you know about the high stick. It took a lengthy review, but it was deemed inconclusive because the puck did not change any direction when the stick seemingly hit the puck.
Did you agree with that, Alec, very quickly?
Honestly, I was in the wrong. I thought it was a high stick at first, but I'm in the wrong. I gotta admit.
Because I was looking at it too, and I just thought it was a little inconclusive at the time. I just wasn't sure. But again, we can go back to it. You can't take penalties at the end, just like how the Oilers had been committed to doing. That was RNH, and they got scored on as the Kings took a 2-1 series lead. We'll see what happens Sunday night as it's Adam Larson with the puck now. And this is flipped, but not back out of the zone. This will fall back to the former St. Louis Blues and Vince Dunn. Again, they talked about just the other day about him being very deep in that depth chart for St. Louis. Well, now he's getting the top 6 time, as this is Ellie Tolvanen from Oliver Bjorkstrand, and they'll spin as Gord goes ahead and throws the head. Now Tolvanen trying to do the same. Seattle just trying to find semblance of something to work with on the ice as they're down 2 to the defending Stanley Cup champs. Coffer tries to play it, and there is some huge body contact, and Grubauer's down, and this will be a penalty.
So Grubauer down, I believe. Was that goaltender interference? Because I'm not sure that I didn't get to that point.
So I'm getting the replay now, and you're about to see it. So Coffer going to play this off the backhand, and yeah, Coffer gets entangled there with Grubauer. I don't think he's got anywhere to go, but he's going to be taking a seat.
They are calling it a slash on that part. So we'll see the replay here. So on the zone entry, one guy tries to gain back the other along the middle. A second pass goes across for JT Coffer. And just as he was pulling it on his backhand, I believe he knocks Oliver Bjorkstrand accidentally off the stick. But we'll see the call.
They called Ellie Tolvanen for slashing. Maybe that's what made JT Coffer run into Grubauer.
So that's a 180.
So 10-15 left to go in the second period. Colorado's on a power play. They've already been very dangerous, and here they go again for Mikko Rantanen near the right side of the wall as this gets recollected from a McKinnon pass, and now it's Kel McCarr. Kel McCarr finds Rantanen near the right dot. He's patient off his forehand, trying to find an opportunity to get picked up here by the Avalanche. Sent back around. Right side of the red line, Mikko Rantanen. It's Cale Makar one more time in the high slot. As this is spun around for Nathan MacKinnon. Here's Rantanen with a touch pass, and this falls in between the skates of Oliver Bjorkstrand, but not out. As this is sent back in, Bowen Byram has it, leaves it for Nathan MacKinnon. He tries to look for a pass in the middle of the slot, and this will be sent back down. Cale will be the first to get to it, with 55 seconds left to go on the Colorado power play. Cale with a casual little drop pass, and this will be an opportunity for number 29. He's got that speed, and I'll drop this back around for Mikko Rantanen. It's Cale, that trifecta. Just had the puck as Makar gets it back. Patient. Nathan MacKinnon wants to 1T as it's Mikko Rantanen. It's wrapped around, but it's not cleared as Cale's got it again. Pass gets deflected by Jared McCann, but this stays in the zone. As this is Evan Rodriguez. Send this across here for Nathan MacKinnon. Mikko Rantanen fans on it, and this will allow an opportunity. McCann, he tried to find it in between his skate blades, but he's off sides. That could have been an opportunity for Seattle, but it's for naught.
Man, shorthanded goals got to be the best kinds of goals when it comes to any situation. Because there's that poke and one D Avs just stand on it, and then Jared McCann. Oh yeah, he could not pick that up right in the neutral zone because he was bad.
That was awfully close, and when we get the replay there is just ice on the other end and no puck for Mikko Rantanen. And that was a good-looking pass for Nathan MacKinnon. It's hard to try to find the sauce pass in traffic, but when the guys are that talented, they can make those type of plays. But be that as it is, 8:35 left to go in the second. It's still a 3-1 lead for the Avalanche, as they are really in control of this game. They do not score on the power play. And I dare I say it, Alec and Ian on this side, I think Seattle must get the next goal. As this is Evan Rodriguez. Played it off the backhead for cutting in Sam Girard. He was on the forecheck side as this gets picked up by Newhook. It's a chance for Girard into the traffic, and this is saved by Grubauer, but the rebound recollected by the Avs. And now Devin Tays here for Newhook. Fans on the wrist shot. Jimmy Alexiak might have got a piece of it as it's Tays. They'll send the pass across the red line as this gets flipped in. Long pass that gets touched by Grubauer near the left side of the stick and recollected by the Avalanche again before it's stolen by Seattle. But they're on the end of the shift except for Jordan Eberle as the Avalanche run into each other, and now Morgan able to get it as one of these Seattle Kraken gets taken down. Walking right in, shooting, and solving it is Grubauer. That was O'Connor with the shot.
Oh, there were some good chances both teams. So Seattle on a 2-on-2 onto the other side. And yeah, there was a big hit by the Kraken. So the power play doesn't strike for Colorado. So they were looking for a 3-on-1 chance right there. It doesn't hit, unfortunately.
So
next commercial break.
So what do you guys think right now in between this game? We've seen all the OTs. I know what Ian says. He thinks Seattle's going to come back. What say you, Alec?
Colorado is holding in there tight and just putting on the clamps on Seattle because they're one of the more underrated defensive teams in the NHL. They can roll out Devontae and Cale Makar together, one of the more dangerous 1-2 combos in the league. Then after that, you got a plethora of defensive talent, whether it be Sam Girard, Josh Manson, Bowen Byram, or Eric Johnson. Even Jack Johnson got some reps in last year's Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson got reps in last year's Stanley Cup final, and he had to play his role as a physical, hard-hitting defenseman. Wasn't asked to do much.
Yeah, he was brought back again at the deadline just to be able to make sure here from the Blackhawks side of it. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think Colorado will pull out the victory from what we're seeing right now, the way that they've been pressing. But I will say Seattle makes it interesting. It's going to be a one-goal game. I'll go 4-3 Colorado.
Good call. And I don't blame you for that. So if you say 4-3, regulation or overtime, that would be a horrific if we're overtime of the day.
I think we got a little spoiled with the overtime today. I'm going to say regulation. And again, if you're a fan of all this stuff, just like we are, giving you the commentary, it's been a wonderful night of hockey. This could be the best first round action you'll get in 2023.
I wonder how many more overtime games that we will get throughout this playoffs. The record is 28. 2017 had 27 games that went to overtime. 18 of them in the first round alone.
That's absolutely incredible, as this is a face-off win here. A chance for Byram. This gets deflected. A little bit of friendly fire for the Avalanche as Eli Tolvanen has it now. Gets us across the red line. Shots on goal are heavily in favor of the Avalanche now, 14-5 in the second period. So they found that ignition switch on that offense, and they started to let it fly. It's 25-16 in totality as it's Seattle. Here's a chance. Jamie Alexiak, good move for a defenseman, scores!
Well, John, you said it. Seattle needed to get the next goal, and they did.
I didn't expect Jamie Alexiak of all people. Let's get on board, folks.
Let me guess, another defense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, another defenseman, you say, because Cale Makar scored the goal before Jamie Alexiak. And even though he is the tallest defenseman by either team on either roster, 6'7", 255, all that frame, and he puts it on a sweet backhander.
Jamie Alexiak got, of all people, Mikko Rantanen in a blender. What a move.
Yeah. You put one of the best offensive players in the league on a blender. That is even sweeter.
What a sick goal that was. And now Seattle, they're back into this, and their crowd is definitely going to be alive now as they were battling getting outshot. Loose out in front, scores! Seattle ties it!
Oh, man, this is a 180.
And this is why you wear the jersey! Matty Beniers!
Welcome to the playoffs, young man. That's his first of his young career. As he puts it in right on his second shot attempt. And this crowd's electric. Chanting "Let's Go Kraken" to the tune of lithium.
Hey, Alec, what's that one thing you always say about hockey? A 2-goal lead is the most
dangerous lead.
That's pretty surreal.
How many seconds did that take, John? What was that, like 8 seconds in between?
That was like 15 seconds there, Ian. It wasn't much at all. It was a rebound opportunity right for Beniers off the doorstep. Gergiev made the first save. Beniers is the one that cleans it up, and it's pretty surreal. I think my heart started to beat an extra minute because I am indeed wearing the Matty Beniers jersey that I got directly from Cooper Hopkins at the Seattle shop. That's my Michigan guy on that end. So it's Nathan McKinnon. This will go the other way. It's a 3-3 game now. And this just kind of came out of nowhere. Oliver Bjorkstrand finishes a hit. And now it's loose in front again. And this one goes just wide to the left side of the red line. This is really starting to turn here as Arturi Lehkonen will send this back the other way. Climate Pledge is in a frenzy. It's Bjorkstrand trying to skate in between 3 Avalanche. Seattle just feeling themselves all of a sudden. Comfer has it on the forehand. This one gets blocked by Larson and picked back up now. Seattle quickly trying to press the other way with Bjorkstrand as this is played near the left side of the red line. The Avalanche, dare I say it, fellas, they just need to get out and go to the second intermission with at least the game tied as this gets intercepted across the tentacle S. It's Mikko Rantanen. They'll make the spin after the interception, and this will go to Seattle. Rushing down the other way, trying to get around a host of sticks is Eberle as this is cleared off the wall in Seattle in the midst of changes. They will dump this in. 5:15 left to go in the second. It's a 3-3 hockey game. 2 goals about 15 seconds apart. When we get the commercial break, we will give you the official reset as this is a wild scene in Seattle right now. This is absolutely incredible as Schultz sends this back around the embankment all the way down the ice, and Seattle cannot change.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 2 goals officially in 19 seconds for the Kraken. How about that for this electric atmosphere?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just something, just a little side note, from the Lakers and Memphis Grizzlies game. Elite smack talker Dylan Brooks has been ejected for hitting LeBron James the balls.
Oh, then Dylan Brooks, he was talking trash about LeBron James after game 2. And what do you know? You knock down the king, you have to take your best shot, and Dylan Brooks did not.
So,
well, technically he did take a shot, just to the wrong part.
4:25 left to go here in this third. I'm going to hold my comments here for now on that side because I do have a thought on that. As Matty Beniers, it's Myers. Oh, what a stop by Grubauer. As this is picked up now for McCann. He'll play this off the backhand as this gets into the neutral zone. Everlay will drop it back. And now Seattle gets an opportunity to reset here with Carson Soucy. And here's the stretch pass. This will touch the glove hand of Alexander Georgiev. And now Seattle quickly the other way. Evan Rodriguez will take a look as Nathan McKinnon off the toe drag. Plays it up the back pass now to Kel McCarr. He lost an edge. And Seattle and Everlay just got a piece of it to knock it away. They could have had a push, but it got taken away again. As Alex said, 2 goals in over 19 second span makes this a brand new hockey game. This has been an electric night, the Stanley Cup playoffs first round. Here's Evan Rodriguez. He had to get this most to body contact. It was Jamie Alexiak as there's a broken twig in the middle of the ice. I guess that Grubauer is just going to do some housekeeping as this is sent back down the other way. And Comfort will send this across. I think one of the Seattle fans doesn't like that the stick got slashed out of the hand. They wanted a call, but we're still live with JT Comfort. Tries to find Mikko Rantanen. This is sent the other way for Jaden Shorts, and this will be a rush for Alexander Wennberg. Wennberg now near the right side of the dot as he has to get around JT Comfort. And this will be turned over. Seattle's got it now near the right dot as they'll send this back around the red line. Collected off the backhand. And between the referee, it's Vince Dunn to the traffic. Georgiev makes the save and sent back down. It's a race for the puck for Mikko Rantanen. He's been on a long shift, and this will be sent back around the other way. Now in toward the right side of the glass and the boards. And the play is blown dead at 2:30. I think we're going to cross-check signal, Alec, and it might be the Avalanche going to the box, maybe Cogliano.
So there's that foot race before the puck by Mikko Rantanen as he got beat out by Philip Grubauer to the puck on that shot. So I'm not at that point of the penalty right there. So now I'm getting at the 2:30 mark. So yeah, Cogliano's complaining about it. He's mad that he was in the box. He's arguing with the referees. So tonight's officials, they are Kyle O'Raymond and John Hebert. So there you go. Cogliano might be headed off to Sydney.
So this is a game, as you said, 19 seconds apart where it certainly turned. Not only did I think that Seattle needed to get the next goal, I didn't expect Jamie Alexiak, like we said, and then Manny Beniers right on the doorstep there from Georgiev. But again, it just shows you that Seattle's not going away. I know you mentioned it for the first round that this isn't the Nashville Predators without Jussi Saros. Seattle's a good team, and that's a hell of a bounce back, and the answer is against the defending champs.
Most definitely.
So let's just give you a reset as we get into the middle of this commercial break. So it was in the first period, Jaden Shorts from Justin Schultz. That was a rebound opportunity that was put in by the forward. Alex Wennberg got a secondary assist. Then GT Comfer short-handed off the rush. It was forehand, backhand, finished off by the help of Kel McCarr and Alturi Likening. Nathan McKinnon, 1915. It was in the last minute of the first period. It was shot out of a cannon off the steal from Mikko Rantanen and Devin Tays. It was a 2-1 lead for the Avs after one. Kel McCarr made it 3-1 with a blistering shot that was a bar down near the left side of the crossbar. And then Jamie Alexiak and Matty Beniers, 19 seconds apart. Power move off the backhand by Jamie Alexiak. That was a stunner. But Georgiev made the first save against Beniers. He finished it. He got his first career postseason goal. Not too bad for a rookie.
Most definitely, because Matty Beniers, he's no stranger to this. I believe he was striking the NCAA tournament back in his days as a Michigan Wolverine, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was a big win the year before against Quinnipiac, but Quinnipiac was able to take out the Wolverines this time and then finish off the Minnesota Golden Gophers. But it is pretty cool to be able to see Matthew Nyes also on the Toronto Maple Leafs from Minnesota. We're seeing a lot of young guns getting some big time in the postseason now.
Yep, the young guns coming up big here. Matthew Nyes even had his first career playoff point on an assist in the first Toronto goal of the game on Michael Alchari.
So it's done, and they just showed on the other end that Kel McCarr got slashed and there was no call. So that's why Cogliano was a little bit upset, and this will fall back to Phil Grubauer. So Seattle had just one power play before this, or just say 0 for 3, I should say. Excuse me, one shot 0 for 3, and this gets recollected. Now that must be just for the series, as this is sent back around now. Again, we are in Game 3 on that side. Devin Tays now with Wemberg is an opportunity for Arturi Lehkonen to find it as well, as Seattle can't hold this in the offensive zone. They race for the puck again. That Seattle will win, but they'll have to get started again right to left. Again, they are in the home navies. It's the first ever home playoff game at Climate Pledge Arena. Seattle's just in their second season. As Manny Beniers, he's the latest goal scorer of the University of Michigan Wolverine. Will flip this in. This goes high and off the right side of the glass, but he'll recollect and he'll sauce this. This one is held in. Carson Soucy now with Yanni Gord, as this is picked up here for Jordan Eberle, former Oiler. Or Eberle tried to get the pass, and he'll have to pick it up now and wait for the rest of his teammates to get back outside, and then we'll dump it in. Alexander Gergiev will take a look as this goes off the stretch of the glass and sent back down now for the Avs. 35 seconds left to go here in the Seattle power play. 1 minute left to go here in the second period, as this is shot right in, sent back around now. And this will be an opportunity for O'Connor, as he's trying to kill some time on Seattle's power play. They got about 20 seconds in which to do so. But inconceivably, they have tied this game at 3. And as we talked about, the theme of today is overtime. We're trying to see if all 4 of these contests will go into OT, but we do need another period of regulation to decide that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, John, because the way this game, if this game goes from an offensive shootout to a goalie duel, I would be very surprised.
Yeah, it seems like
teams can score on a dime.
It does seem like that, like the water faucet has been turned on. You got 8 seconds left to go here in the second. One more time for a rush here for Ellie Tolvanen. As this gets slapped around, it'll be a race for the puck centered out in front, but that is going to end the second period. It's a 3-3 tie between the Avs and the Kraken, and whoever wins this one will take a 2-1 series lead.
And the fans here at Climate Pledge Arena are hoping that the Kraken are the ones take a 2-1 series lead on the defending champions. Because, man, they've been loud and proud, just like they have been through all the Seahawks games, through all the Mariners games. And probably also, as well, if I can add, as well as honorable mentions, the Seattle Sounders FC and the Seattle Storm of the WNBA. The Seattle Sounders play the MLS.
For the way that all this stuff is going too, Alec, why not throw back in the Seattle Supersonics? Bring them back to Washington.
Oh, I'd be open to that. If only they didn't relocate to OKC.
Right.
That crowd used to be electric.
So we're going to go ahead into the second intermission again. I'm going to go ahead and type some of these notes, and if you guys want to carry the rest of this away, and I'll be right back in a few minutes.
All right, so we'll get the scoring reset here through 40 minutes here.
I might be.
So how we got here? What again?
I might be getting a phone call. Just a fair warning, so you might have to pick this up.
All right then. So I'll see you around when you get back in here. So, or we will see you around.
Yeah.
So here's the scoring reset for how we got here through 40 minutes of action. So it's Jaden Schwartz opening and scoring for Seattle Kraken. The first goal of this game from Justin Schultz and Alex Wemberg. The original shot was from Schultz, but it was deflected in by Schwartz for the first ever goal at Climate Pledge Arena in the playoffs. That was answered right back by Jay Comfort on a good poke by Arturi Lehkonen on the Seattle power play. Kel Makar, not Evan Rodriguez. That was our battle out part. So Makar finds an open JT Comfort as Daniel Sprong blew a tire on that power play. Tied the game up, and that ties the game up 1. There's Nathan McKinnon who comes right in at full flight and then banks it in right at the back of the net from Nico Rantanen and Devon Taves. It was 2-1 after 20 minutes of action. It was Makar who fired it from the top of the right circle off a face-off win by Alex Newhook after Loris Miller got tossed out of a false start to make it 3-1. Then come the 2 goals in 19 seconds. The first by Daniel Oleksiak, who puts Nico Rantanen on a spin cycle. Oleksiak, all 6'7", 255 of them from Yanni Gordon and Oliver Bjorkstrand. And then 19 seconds later, Matty Beniers with his first career playoff goal. The top four scorers of the Kraken throughout the regular season in the first 2 games did not record a point. All 4 of Jared McCann, Vince Dunn, Jordan Eberle, and Matty Beniers. But here, Beniers, McCann, and Eberle all have points on Beniers' first career playoff goal. And that evens the game at 3 apiece heading into the second intermission. Now over to the other games, which the previous 3 games went to overtime. I don't know if this will be the 4th one in a calendar day to go to overtime, but we shall see how this game goes. So the first one, 5-4 Vegas in double overtime. So Vegas scored 4 of the first 5 goals of the game. Was Chandler Stevenson and Jack Eichel getting the first 2. Stevenson from Stone and Theodore. Eichel on the power play from Stevenson and Alex Pietrangelo. And then Kyle Connor had the lone Winnipeg tally in the first period from Dylan DeMello and Brendan Dillon. Eichel struck again in the second period on the power play from Pietrangelo and Riley Smith. There was Keegan Colasar, who went on a staring contest with some of the Winnipeg fans after he scored to make it 4-1 Vegas from Eichel and Mike Amadio. Remember the last name, everyone. Remember that last name. Then into the third period, where Winnipeg comes back with 3 unanswered goals. The first from Nino Niederreiter, 204, from Pierre-Luc Dubois and Neil Payok. Then Mark Scheifele tied it on the power play, who has been pretty much bad before that point in this game, but he owed his team one on that power play goal. Neil Payok and Kyle Connor, the Apples. Then Adam Lowry tied it up with 21.9 seconds left in regulation. Off the feed from Vladislav Nemestikov after the initial shot from Neil Payok. Those were the Apples in that game. Winnipeg down Josh Morrissey for this game and the rest of the series after an injury earlier in that game. So a big blow to them. Then I mentioned Mike Amadio earlier, and for other guys to remember that name, here he nets his first career playoff goal on a double overtime winner after a bad giveaway by Dylan Sandberg that bounced off the skate of Ivan Barbashev. So it's a 5-4 win for Vegas after firing 48 times on Connor Hellebuck, who stopped 43 of them. Lauren Brossois stopped 30 of 34 Winnipeg shots. So that's your scoring recent for Golden Knights Jets. Now on to Maple Leafs Lightning, where that game went to the first overtime. So Noah Chari gets the first goal of the game at 3:24 in the first period on Matthew Knies' first career playoff point, and it was the primary assist. The secondary came from Ryan O'Reilly. It was Anthony Cirelli tying it up a minute 26 after the goal by Achari from Alex Killorn and Brandon Hagel. Then it was Austin Matthews hitting his first of the series from Mitch Marner and Kalle Jarnkrok. Marner with his 5th assist of that series on that goal by Matthews. Then Brandon Hagel tying it up from Corey Perry and Ross Colt. Perry's son was on the active mic on the NHL TBS, by the way. And then on the second period, Jake McCabe couldn't finish his check on Darren Radish, and Radish made him pay for it at the 13:34 mark on the second period of a ripper from the left circle. Going short side, the feeds from Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos. Then Ryan O'Reilly. If one last-minute tying goal tally wasn't enough, then prepare yourselves for 2. O'Reilly ties it up literally at the final minute. Literally at the final minute, because there were exactly 60 seconds left of action. The feeds were William Nylander and Mitch Marner. Marner's 6th assist of the series. That ties the game at 3 to send the game to overtime. Ironically, that was the exact same score that the Leafs' last overtime game was heading into that game. And just like the last overtime game between the Leafs and Bolts, it was 3-3 late and headed late into the first overtime. This time with a different outcome. Braden Point? No. This time, Morgan Riley was involved in a controversy earlier in the game after he and Point collide awkwardly with each other along the boards. Point got shaken up, favoring that left elbow. He returned to the game to finish it. Both of these guys were on the ice for that overtime winner. And tell you what, there was actually a line brawl in this game, but before the goal by O'Reilly. But it was Riley off the faceoff went by O'Reilly for the overtime winner with 45 seconds left. So Leafs take this one 4-3. Now on to the last overtime game that went to of this day. But just before tonight's game, probably will get a 4th. Who knows? But it's Chris Kreider with his 5th goal of the series and the first at even strength. The feeds from Mika Zibanejad and Patrick Kane at 3:39 second period. Then Jack Hughes ties it up on the power play from Dougie Hamilton and Jesper Bratt. This was a goaltending duel in which Akira Schmid, in his first career playoff start, stopped 35 of 36 Rangers shots. Igor Shesterkin stopped 26 of 28. And the last shot was a Dougie Hamilton overtime winner, his first playoff overtime winner of his career, from Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier at the 11:36 mark. Devils get back in the series with a 2-1 win.
So thank you for that, Alec, on that side. I am back. He gave you all those recaps, and you got to make sure you give Alec a big hand because all those games went in OT. And as he said now, we will see. Thank you for that. We needed to do that because it's 3-3 between the Avs and Seattle. And as he said, we will see if this one's going to go to OT. Why not? Everything else has been. I wasn't thinking it was going to, but I also didn't know Seattle would score 2 goals in 19 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and cheat for tomorrow and see what the upcoming games are going to be. We'll give you that little sneak preview as we're in the middle of the second intermission. So on TNT at 1 Eastern, it's going to be Hurricanes and Islanders. And all of a sudden now, I feel like, especially with the injuries that were sustained to Carolina, when you think about Svechnikov and Teuvo Teravainen, the Islanders get a big win. I mean, didn't they score like 4 goals in about 2 minutes on that, and they completely turned it the other way against Antti Ranta? And we will see if they can tie this series at 2. Maybe we will get the 7-game series that I thought it was going to be. I took Carolina on that end, but we'll see if the Islanders can even it up. What do you say, Alec?
I think that the Islanders can definitely even the series against the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have lost 8 straight playoff games on the road dating back to 2020, their 2021 second-round series against Tampa Bay, Game 4. So 8 straight losses on the road for them, and it's not looking great on that part. They lost all 6 of their road playoff games last year. Plus the Islanders, as you mentioned, 4 goals in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. That would be the fastest 4 goals in Stanley Cup playoff history. And this is a team that people accuse of playing boring hockey. I don't think the Islanders play boring hockey. They play a tight defensive style of hockey that involves a lot of saves and goaltending and a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
Though people might not like that style, that's the brand that they embrace.
They play fundamental style hockey. It actually, different sport. But if you watch the NBA back in the early 2000s, or in the 90s and the early 2000s, you heard the same shtick about the San Antonio Spurs. The team that played the most boring basketball, and yet what did it culminate into?
Championships, wins.
About 5 championships over 5 championships spanning 2 decades about.
Yeah,
dating back to 1999, the last of which came in 2014. So 5 championships in 16 years.
Yeah, defense wins. That's what they always talk about. You're right on there on the inside. So I'm thinking about this. I don't know if I'm going to have a guest host tomorrow because I plan on doing a solo effort between the Bruins and the Panthers, but I might not be a guest host for Stars and Wild. If that is the case, be more of a lax broadcast. But first, we'll start with the Bruins and the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers honestly have played a bad game in this series so far, but we will see if they can even up the series. I think they're going to need to at FLA Live Arena. But I do like the way that they're playing, and I think they're trying to press the Bruins as much as they can. Although I will say I think the Bruins will win tomorrow at 3:30 on TNT.
Yeah, but then again, just what? But then again, when I think about how Florida toward the tail end of Game 2, just completely dismantled the Bruins and poured on the scoring. I truly believe that the Panthers can take the series.
Wow, that's a shock.
That would be the only one, Ian, that would shock me. If you're picking one team out of the 8 series to take a series, it would shock me if the Panthers win.
It would shock me as well because this on paper feels like a heavy mismatch between both of these teams. However, the game is not played on paper; it's played on the ice.
Right. But again, I mean, we saw what happened in Game 2. Boston can crack, right? Boston can. There are little chinks in the armor, despite doing their best to look impenetrable. Remember, the Florida Panthers were one of the few teams to beat them not once but twice during the regular season.
Yep, and alongside the Ottawa Senators did the same thing. Look, I understand to your point. Yes, they do play in the same division, but I agree with you in the sense that Florida is a very physical team. They're a really good team, and by the way, that when you think about Brandon Montour and Matthew Tkachuk, those moves have worked out pretty well as far as getting more ice time and getting the trade. So we'll see how that one goes. The other game on TBS before we get to the late one is Stars and Wild. And that series has been one of a ton of momentum swings. If any of you guys are fighting game fans, I feel like it's Mortal Kombat against those two teams because it's just a bunch of fatalities all over the place. And we'll see who's going to end up getting it out of there. And whoever does is going to be very sore heading into a long series, I imagine.
Yeah, well, as Alex, when we were doing our predictions, I told him straight up that I couldn't pick a winner. I couldn't pick a winner between those two because it felt like these are two teams with severe flaws, with flaws that can be easily exposed going in. Plus, if you want to take the hockey aspect out of, well, if you want to take the like the skill-based stuff and analytics out of it, there was also the fact that Minnesota has the moniker of close but never close enough. So it's that you could say, you could have made the argument that the Stars were going to win the series, but the Stars, if you remember, in the early to mid part of the season, were really inconsistent, losing to the likes of Chicago and other bad teams.
That is how you lose your division lead on that side. With the broadcast part and all this stuff yesterday with Don Tottingham when we were listening, he said he doesn't believe in Minnesota or Dallas, but he did say that it was going to be a 7-game series. It's going to be a barroom brawl, and that's certainly what it feels like right now. We'll just try to see which bodies are available. I will say this, though. If Dallas goes down 3-1, and they head back to American Airlines, they're going to be in a world of hurt. And I don't think they'll recover from a 3-1, Alec.
Yeah, it will be very hard to do so because a 3-1 lead is very hard to surmount. The New York
It's possible, but it's just, man, I mean, again, I know we talked about it from the Monday when we were all here on that side. Joe Pavelski's a piece, and Dallas is really going to need him. I don't even know if he's going to come back in this playoffs should they advance.
Yeah, but about that series, last year between the Rangers and the Penguins, those first three games those three games that the Penguins won, you could really see those last three games. Shesterkin was a completely different goalie. It's almost like they hadn't switched him on yet.
Yeah, you got to.
Like that, especially in games 3 and 4.
Yeah, so unless someone who goes down 3-1 either switches off the other goalie or switches on their own, I don't think we're going to see a blown 3-1 series lead if any of them get to that point.
No, it'd be tough to say. If the Wild got to that point, I don't think so either. And Dallas, I think they are in must-win territory tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that. I will close with the Oilers and Kings here. That's the final game at 9 p.m. on TBS. Gentlemen, as you know, I took the Kings last year in 7. I was wrong on that end. That was without Doughty and Arvidsson. I'm still going Kings in 7. The Oilers need to bounce back tomorrow.
It's got to be emphasis on discipline on them if they're going to bounce back and take game 4, because they took ill-advised penalties in games 1 and 3 that led to Kings power play goals. Even though there was a lengthy review, that puck may have run off the back of Matthias Ekholm that could nullify any discussion of a high stick. So the Oilers need to emphasize on discipline, and they got to do it.
They have to, and discipline, as Alex said, that's the most important word of the day in that series. So we're underway now, the third period puck drop in Climate Pledge Arena, and it's a tie hockey game courtesy of 2 goals, 19 seconds apart from Jamie Alexiak and Matty Beniers, the rookie, getting it done. That's the jersey I got on the YouTube side for anyone that's curious. But again, I'm just from Detroit, Michigan on this side doing a stream alongside a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And what about you, Ian? What team do you root for?
Well, because that is a very
Kansas City? I know the Chiefs and all that. So you're from Kansas City or no?
Yeah, I'm from Kansas City. We don't have a pro hockey team. I wish we did. I really wish we did. But I guess the closest one would be the St. Louis Blues.
There you go. At least they've had some good cup success on that end, as we are back underneath it. 18:45 left to go.
At the next commercial break, I'll explain my dilemma, because I was actually going to say this. A bunch of my family, like all of the family on my dad's side, they all live in Chicago.
Right. Yeah, that would be very interesting on that side. You have the Chicago Blackhawks lose the original 6. So it's 26-19. Colorado has the shots on goal advantage, but admittedly they're in a brand new hockey game. This is a great drop pass. Gergiev took a piece of it with the left pad as this is still kept live. They were trying to say if this was played with a high stick, but it wasn't for Matty Beniers. And this is sent back down again, left to right in this third period here for the Seattle Kraken. As this pass gets picked off, but only for a moment there for Byram, as there's some more contact. Nathan McKinnon back in his own end, but he gets stick lifted. This is played in behind the net right now. As Seattle is like hyenas on hamburger meat right now. They're trying to find this puck as this gets recollected by Nathan McKinnon off the jump stop, and he'll play it near the right side of the wall. Drive it here for Bowen Byram, and this one gets knocked away. As Tolvanen had his hands up in the air, he was waiting for a penalty on that end, but this is still with Seattle. They'll just flip it into the neutral zone right now, but it's turned over, but offsides because Evan Rodriguez never got back.
John, did I hear you say hyenas on hamburgers?
Yeah, sometimes when it's like raw meat, hyenas, they'll go after for the kill on that side. Yeah.
Okay, it's hyenas. That's
hyenas.
that's something that doesn't. That's a rarely used animal when describing anything.
I like to keep everybody on their toes. As there's a big hit the other way. Jamie Alexiak gets a chance to pick this up now off the forehand as this just gets sticked away by the Avalanche. Near the right side of the boards, Turbo is the one that absorbs the hit. Here's a spin for Tolvanen, and now this might go the other way for Devin Tays. He's on the left side wall. Drop pass, middle of the slot, scores! Avalanche take the lead!
Oh my goodness. The crowd here has gone silent. You can hear a pin drop in here after that goal by Colorado. So Jaden Schwartz turns that over in the axe. On the 3-on-2 is Devontae saying that a sweet feed right across to Mikko Rantanen for the tying goal. Got Philip Grubauer to open up, and the champs are still dancing.
And that, as you said, Alec, is an absolutely gorgeous sauce feed from Taves to Mikko Rantanen. Quick shot, opens up the 5-hole, no chance Grubauer. And Colorado out in front again. This has been a wild night of hockey, and we'll see how it concludes.
Absolutely wild. So now a 4-3 lead. I would not be surprised if there's a tie goal late in the period, knowing how this slate of games today have gone.
Well, so you're just saying bring on the drama, and I'm all for it right now, as it's 16:40 left to go in the third. Defending champs take the lead. Now they drive to the net. Grubauer down, and somebody in Colorado is absorbed inside the net as this is picked up now by the Avalanche. And oh, what a big hit against McCann as he loses his bucket. And this goes the other way for Seattle as another one is down. And slow to get up. I don't get a number on that one. But Alec, there's bowling pins all over the ice.
Someone's playing bowling right here, because I don't know who let one of the professional bowlers out there. Oh, Jared McCann got absolutely steamrolled right towards the boards. And there was another one that was slow to get up. Oh, yeah, might be in some pain. Yeah, and he's getting off to the bench and under his own power.
So Evan Rodriguez now, Kale McCarr, Bowen Byram, it's Nathan McKinnon. What a spin move! Let's it go! And that gets blocked. Oh my goodness, Nathan McKinnon with a wizardry as this is picked up now Byram. And now Byram sends it across. Here's McKinnon dancing, working his way. Shot scores! Nathan McKinnon, we're not worthy!
By Dave McKinnon. I think he did 2 spin moves in the offensive zone. This man, out of all the teams out of all the players that are active in the playoffs, I feel Dave McKinnon elevates his game the most come playoff time. And here he is showing once again that he's proven that he can elevate his game come playoff time. Nice spinorama and nice goal.
Alec, I understand what we saw from Connor McDavid the other day. But what I just saw from Nathan McKinnon there, Connor, eat your heart out. That's incredible.
I'll tell you, Connor McDavid, probably due for one game like this that McKinnon's been having right now. So probably game 4 if he were to break out. But so far, the Philip Deneau line's been putting him right in clamps. But McKinnon,
Yeah, that was an absolute jaw dropper. As we go the other way now here for Seattle, we will see how they answer. And I just can tell you, you don't see many goals that are prettier than that. As Mikko Rantanen now, he's near the players' bench. The Avalanche get some full-scale line changes as this is sent back around. Bowen Byram, he gets off of a half hit as this tried to get recollected by Ellie Tolvanen and now pushed. Here are the Avalanche again off a 2-on-1 opportunity. And a diving attempt. This will negate the pass across. Here comes the bomb. And this will go near the left side of the wall. All Avalanche right now as they continue to drive. Mulligan gets punished against the boards as they try to locate it. Turbo is right out in front with Carson Soucy and Lars Eller as this goes around the referee. Some more contact. As Ellie Tolvanen, this might fall right to him. And now Seattle will just sauce pass this in between the Avalanche legs. And this will be sent back down to Josh Manson. I can't believe what we just witnessed there for Nathan McKinnon. But again, it's a 2-goal leader for Colorado. This has been a back and forth type of game. It's been a lot of fun. Evan Rodriguez with a no-look pass. Gets settled down by the defense. Kel McCarr out there with Bowen Byram. McCarr will send it across. Here comes the shot. This goes near the right side of the wall. Evan Rodriguez from the former Pittsburgh Penguins. He will collect. McCarr, he's dancing now across the blue line. Settle it up in the high slot. Nathan McKinnon again. Feels like he's out there on every shift. It's Bowen Byram. Will crisscross just hold the blue line, and they'll just put it in an open area of the right side dot. As this is sent back here for Carson Soucy. And Alec, we have to see what type of answer Seattle's going to come with because they need one.
I wonder, because you let in 2 goals here in the third period, and now you're looking for a response right here. But still, the Seattle team knows how to fight right back, and they showed fight in those first 2 games. I want to see some fight here in this third period at their home ice.
And they almost turned it over right in front of their own zone. There was a cross pass on the other end, trying to send it out in front of a Gurgiev who was down, and who's going to race to be able to keep this over again. It was just kept in by Will Borgen. And now here's McCann. McCann trying to get this pass, and Matt Nieto gets the steal, plays this off the backhand, and flips it down. This is not ice. It's waved off as Jamie Alexiak will take a look at the zebra. And now it's an opportunity. Will Borgen, this is a nice pickup by Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers will sauce this here to Daniel Sprong. Sprong now near the right side. This will get saved by the right glove hand of Alexander Gurgiev and pushed down across the neutral zone. We're getting dangerously close to the halfway marker of this third period. Drawn out here on the play-by-play, being drawn by Alec Nava and Kohler and Ian on the other side as he was giving us updates across everything, giving us thoughts as well in the intermission. This has been a lot of fun. Here's Daniel Sprong and a penalty hand in the air. The Avalanche on a hook.
We'll see about this one because the Avalanche getting caught with it.
This was the Avalanche. They're getting busted for a hook, and this will be the Kraken on a power play.
Yeah, it seems to be so. The Kraken going on the power play here, and they need to get one here. They have not converted thus far on the man advantage. If there's a time to convert on the power play, it's here. Jesper Froden gets taken down right on the hook. And as I noted out earlier with Ian in a separate cast, for some reason the last name Froden kind of reminds me of Frodo Baggins.
You give me a Lord of the Rings reference. I was wondering if it was going to walk right into that one.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Unfortunately, Kraken going on the power play, and they need to convert here because they haven't converted on any of those chances. The emphasis here across this game, special teams. And the Kraken, they were 0 for 5 entering in tonight on the power play. So the Avs, they weren't that much better. And this Kraken, they've already given up a shorthanded goal. They look to avoid that again. Now they're 0 for 9 on the series.
That has definitely got to change if they want to prolong anything across. We did give you all the NHL reset. I'm just going to go ahead and take a peek at these NBA scores, and we see what ends up going across. So let's take a look at it and make sure that I got my dates correct because ESPN doesn't want to load the correct date. So what are the scores that we have? It is the Lakers all over the Grizzlies 90-68. And as you said, Dylan Brooks, he was the one that got kicked out. He was the one calling LeBron old. Do you think you're going to walk right into a buzzsaw on that end? Probably should be closing his mouth or anybody on the Grizzlies side because they might get sunned here. And they're down at 90-68. And the other finals, I was very surprised as I was watching this game a little bit. I know no Giannis, but the Heat, 121-99. They opened up a can on the Bucks.
Yeah, hey John.
They really have. And this was a masterclass by the Miami Heat on the Giannis-less Bucks. And a masterclass by Jimmy Butler in the playoffs once again. And getting a lot of help from Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry, and Caleb Martin off the bench.
So John, in regards to the Dylan Brooks LeBron situation,
Yeah.
it's very good. There's a phrase that's it's used sparingly, but I believe it goes if you come to the king, you best not miss.
Yes, I've heard Alec mention that too. When we do get to a commercial break, I will give you my thoughts. As we're in the middle of a Seattle power play here, Matty Beniers tried to send this across. I won't forget about that. As Wimberg will pick this up, and now here comes Colorado. This is short-handed. They've already looked good on it one time, and this is played off the backhand, sent back around the embankment. 11:25 left to go in this third as Colorado will go ahead and take their change, make sure they're fresh for the kill. And as Alec mentioned, Seattle got to get going here with the extra man. They're a pretty good 5-on-5 team, but their special teams leaves a lot to be desired when you go across those numbers. They're around the 21st range out of 32 teams on both the kill and the power play. As this is sent in now. Here's Matty Beniers toward the right side line. Again, the zebra got to get out of the way. It's just a massive humanity. As this is sent back around in the high slot, try to center a bobbling puck. And this goes up and on a play with 10:56. And to your point, really quick, as we get a stoppage, yeah, you can't. When you're going in and you're opening your mouth and you're talking about all the other stuff on defense and what you can do, don't forget you have LeBron and Anthony Davis in one of those games, especially a game when they combined for 10 blocks and a ton of points. And with John Morant not being available and some of these other things, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers take that series against the trash-talking Grizzlies as if they need any more motivation.
Yeah, and
I
actually,
mean, it's all about respecting your elders in this regard, similar to one between the Devils and Rangers in the first two games of it. So Lakers Grizzlies is basically respect your elders, and the Lakers put out on folks playing game 3.
Yeah, they do. And we will give you a full reset of the rest of the NBA stuff when we get a break here because we haven't hit those just yet. Get everybody's thoughts. Sully Tolvanen now. He's trying to get this away from Tays, and this will be a chance for Oliver Bjorkstrand. This is the second line on here for Dave Huxtall's squad. Here's a flipping play that's just kept in. Vince Dunn sent it across the defensive partner, now Dunn in the high slot. There's a slap pass opportunity from Yanni Gord, and this goes up on our play with 10:28 third.
So I'll tell you, Kraken not really doing that great on the power play. Though this is nothing new. This was their 10th opportunity on the man advantage, and the Avalanche, they're just holding them off on that man advantage opportunity like they have been throughout these 3 games.
Yes, they have been. And again, as they just noted it, as Alex said on the TDS side, they're struggling. And you want to talk about, I know it's an obvious statement, when your power play is in about the 15% marker and your penalty kill is barely above 70%, I mean, that's just not going to get it done, especially against a team like the Avs. And now this is a chance for Seattle the other way. Essentially, now they're going to go 0 for 5 as we're getting very close to the halfway marker in regulation. This doesn't seem like OT's in the cards, but again, we did have 2 goals in 19 seconds for the Kraken. They're going to need a similar play. And this is turned over. It was O'Connor to Nieto off the give and go. And that was saved. The Avalanche 0 for 7 on the power play in the series. The Kraken 0 for 10, 0 for 17 combined. That absolutely stinks as this is picked up now near the left side of the red line. Avalanche trying to continue to just press in the Seattle end. And now here's an opportunity for Ryan Donato. And I'll flip this around the end boards as this is kept in and now spun and played, I think, off the netting. We'll get a stoppage with 9:29 and take a commercial break. I will give you some other scores here because we mentioned about Bucks and Heat. I was also surprised because I caught up a little bit of that game while I was eating some dinner that it seemed like the Heat arena was a little bit half full at American Airlines Arena on that side, which surprised me. But the other two finals that we have is the Nets. The Nets get swept by the Philadelphia 76ers. They lose 96-88. And the Suns take a 112-100 lead against the Phoenix Suns. And I want to make sure, I know the recorder's on, so I'm not going to go too much in detail. But I know Kawhi Leonard, I don't think he was available for this one, but I saw something on the internet, Alec. I wasn't sure if it was true. I don't know if you saw it either, but did they say Kawhi Leonard's sister got arrested on murder charges?
I did see.
He got life without parole.
Wow.
He got life without parole on that. Yeah. I read the headline.
So how in the hell, if you're Kawhi Leonard, I know he's injured, but how do you even concentrate on something like that, let alone a basketball game? That's absolutely crazy.
I have no idea.
I mean, it feels really hard to focus on the mental aspect of that, especially when you have your sister get arrested on those charges for life and life, in a sense, life without parole for that.
Yeah, it was absolutely nuts when I saw that. I just wanted to double check with you guys to make sure my four eyes wasn't seeing something that I just couldn't believe. I know we're in the middle of a commercial break in our game right now, and maybe this will be the one game, and I'll have you guys have a little bit of a break here as we might not get overtime. And I know last time when we all met together on the Monday between Dallas and Minnesota, that was a lengthy one as it went double OT when Ryan Hartman got the game winner.
So it was funny regarding the 76ers and Nets series. There was actually there's a player on the Washington Wizards right now. His name is Kyle Kuzma. He said that the Nets. He claimed that the Nets don't win, don't play winning basketball, and he got torched, and he got replied to by another NBA player. Well, now people are putting out. I don't think it's the hashtag, but they're saying, but they're putting in their post.
This is Grubauer that tries to play it, and one of the Avalanche runs into each other, and Seattle dodges a disaster. You might be talking about the Spencer Dinwiddie situation that I saw that was kind of funny when they clap back at each other as well. As this is collected now by Seattle and across the red line, and it's Jaden Shorts plays it off the forehand, trying to get around JT Coffer as Daniel Sprong sends it back around the embankment. This will be out near the left side of the blue line and flipped in. Sprong will play this off the backhand, now work his way to his forehand, look for a centering pass in the slot as the Avalanche still have a 5-3 lead. This is flipped in the other way by Devin Tays, and now Philip Grubauer will touch. Over under 9.5, that's what DraftKings Sportsbook says right now, and if you're at over, it's plus 140. I think we might see some more goals, let alone an empty net pool, as this gets an opportunity now for Colorado to put this here the other way for Nieto, and now Cogliano will come together here for Borgen. Borgen with his stretch pass. This gets collected, flip out of the air across the red line here for Yanni Gordon. And now Seattle will try to get reorganized and toward Oliver Bjorkstrand, but this hits the outside of the cage. This is kept in by the Kraken. They're in their first ever playoff game at Climate Pledge. They're trying to avoid going down 2-1 to the defending Stanley Cup champions. But Colorado has started to find their offense, and again, none of these are power play goals. Again, it's a combined 0 for 17, and the Avalanche 0 for 7, Kraken 0 for 10. They've certainly had their chances. Justin Schultz against Arturi Lehkonen, a battle near the right side of the red line. Is this just being held right now, and the Avalanche very content to kill time as this is recollected and put around the end boards. A chance for Bowen Byram now to the left side of the blue line as they'll crisscross, and this gets taken away as Seattle might have something off the step through, as Matty Beniers trying to buy some time, and Everlay fired one that went wide and on a plate.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Seattle needs to really step up here in this third period. They want to get the momentum back towards their favor. Because they had that tilt towards their favor and they scored their two goals in 19 seconds. But it seems to be slipping from their grasp.
And you kind of wonder, Alec, if that side, if it isn't just slipping for the rest of this game, but maybe for the rest of the series. Because, like you said, they definitely got to answer.
They have to. Because everything seems to be going towards Colorado's favor here in this third period.
So the last two postseasons, we take a look at it. Cale Makar, 32 points in 23 games, and that's at defense, folks. Adam Larson now. And toward the right side of the red line, this will fall right back to the Avalanche, and they can quickly press the other way. Here's Nieto. He'll go for the bank pass as Donato gets the steal, knocks down JT Comper. But Bowen Byram is there to be able to provide support as we did about 6:30 left to go in the third. There's a play off the back pass. Rantanen cross off the sauce, and that's saved by Grubauer with the left pad. And this is sent back across the defensive partner for Seattle. And Dave Hextall's squad can start again. Everybody taking line changes, even Jared Bednar's squad, as this goes across the tentacle S. Stolen here by the Avalanche. And a quick little drive-by by Andrew Cogliano, but this will be Seattle that finds this, goes back in their own end after this gets dumped in from 100 feet by the Avs. Picked up across the neutral zone. Devin Tays will do the same as Grubauer will have to play it. Here comes the forecheck here for the Avalanche, but Seattle will have to look to start again. Left to right in this third period. Again, they're in the home Navy in their first ever playoff game at Climate Pledge. Again, they're in their second season, and it's very hard to believe from the first year when they were really a true expansion team. They had that type of year. They didn't have the Vegas magic, but now in this second season, they're playing against the defending champs, and at least they're playing like so far that they're more than just happy to be here. They're trying to give the Avalanche their best effort. They've done a good job, but they got to be able to continue on the special teams to make an improvement because 0 for 10 on the power play is not going to get it done. Is Yanni Gord. This goes here for Jimmy Alexiak, but he's offsides. You get a stoppage with 5:18.
Yeah, it's amazing to think, but moreover, we talked about Seattle a lot, but once again, I don't know if anyone's noted this on any of the broadcasts of these games, but considering if you look back about six or 7 years ago, where the Avalanche were, the Avalanche were that they were. They were at one of the bottom feeders of the league. Jared Bednar, people were talking about Jared Bednar getting fired. Joe Sakic going from one of the most beloved people in Colorado to being one of the most hated, and then a series of events led to their fortune. One of the more significant events being a trade that had people asking Pierre Dorian how you made the bumbling Joe Sakic look like a genius, which netted them the fourth overall pick, thereby being Phil McCarr, and the rest from there. They just continue to improve.
There you go. Because the Matthew Shane trade was a series of complexities, and that also involved Nashville as well, which Colorado also landed Sam Girard, who was previously on Nashville's system before landing with Colorado.
That's right, because they got him as a result of the Kyle Turris trade.
That too.
That just seems like everything that Joe Sakic has touched as an executive and just as a player has turned to gold because this Avalanche team is ready for bear. I don't know if they're going to repeat, admittedly, but when you think about Mikko Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon, and Kel McCarr, tell me which NHL team wouldn't want any of those players.
Well, the Avalanche have all three, so what does that tell you?
Right.
But I'll never forget a YouTuber that Alec and I frequented, Urinating Tree, when he made a video on the Ottawa Senators and he talked about the Matt Duchene trade. When he went over the details of that trade, his exact words were, Dorian, how the F did you make the bumbling Joe Sakic look like a genius?
Everything that he always talks about on the hockey side is funny. I remember one of the ones he did with Ottawa. They forgot their paper at the draft board when they were an expansion franchise, so they had to just pick names out of a hat. That's actually a true story, as this is collected now across the red line, and this is dumped in offsides with 5:13.
That's right, because wasn't there expansion draft at the same time as Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you had. Yes.
Yeah, at least Tampa Bay got away with Ryan Bradley, I think it was, from Toronto, who actually became the first face of the Lightning franchise, if I remember my history correctly.
And back then, when you had expansion teams, it didn't really fall into the gold like the Golden Knights and the Seattle Kraken have, as far as being able to pick and choose the type of players that are available for them. But again, that's pretty good work there by Ron Francis to be able to turn that around. And if you're on the other side for Bill Foley in Vegas, yeah, they've done a good job, but it kind of seems like they went all in too many times, and all their other depth now, Alec, in Vegas is gone. I know they're making their run, but I don't think Vegas is going to be sniffing a Stanley Cup unless they kind of fall into it this year.
The move for Vegas after here's the problem. They felt like they had to deliver for their fan base. Here's the thing. You already got the fan base off to a great start.
Right.
If you had just kept the were truly committed, they would have been okay with making it to the playoffs. But now, with these all-in pushes, you pretty much became a pariah to the rest of the league. Not because you're trying to win all the time, but because of how you treat your players as you pretty much treat them as expendable assets.
Yes.
No one really wants to commit to an organization where you're just going to get traded at any point in time.
Yeah, the way they talk about Marc-Andre Fleury on that side is something to think about. And to the point now, Seattle, look, they stayed the course. They had a true expansion here, and look at where they are. I think they're in a much better spot as this will be flipped back around. Even though Vegas is still in the postseason, we will see how far their shelf life is, and that's what we're talking about. As we're watching the newest expansion franchise going up against the Colorado Avalanche, the defending Stanley Cup champs. They've been holding off pretty well, but now they've given up 5 goals. They kind of broken the well a little bit of Grubauer as this is sent back across. But again, Seattle's not struggling to score, but those special teams for both of these teams need a lot of work as it's 3:50 left to go in the third. And this is flipped in now for Seattle. They'll go ahead and take some changes. And they'll need to, Alec, in this side, might be thinking about pulling that goalie the next time they get across, the next part of the offensive end as we get 3:35 left.
And they may want to think about pulling Philip Grubauer the next time they get into the offensive zone. Probably use their time. Probably Dave Haxtell could use his time out and get the extra attacker out there. Seen other coaches use their timeouts early, such as Brad Pecknold of Quinnipiac in the national championship game against Minnesota,
And I think
one-time goal.
that's what they're doing right now.
That's what they're going to be calling, maybe a timeout here on the other side for Dave Hextall's squad because the shot came right in.
Nope. Grubauer's out of his perch, and yes, he is skating. He's skating to the bench. Empty net. There are 6 attackers on for the Seattle Kraken. They're going for it.
So Jordan Eberle, he's going to take the draw here instead of Matty Beniers, and then we will see off the switch who it's going to be. It looks like Schwartz. So you got both the wingers here going up against Nathan MacKinnon, and this is picked up by McKinnon, flip back around the end boards. And now Seattle, again, as Ian said, they got the extra attacker. They get a shot right on. They'll get an opportunity to do this again in the offensive zone draw with 3:23. So 3:23 left. It's 33 shots to 27 in favor of the Colorado Avalanche here. Seattle needs a pair of goals. They don't have a lot of time to do it, and this does start with a face-off win. And for the second straight time, we'll have to do it again. It's Schwartz against McKinnon. He was good on the first draw, and now we will do this a third time. So let's see if we can get this going here with Nathan MacKinnon. But this is won by Schwartz. And now Seattle will fire it right on. And this gets blocked aside. This is a rolling puck that will go just wide, over edge. And this will be touched by Seattle, but this will not be ice. So we're still underway with 3:05 in the third. Seattle needs 2 goals. They're down 5-3. And a clearing attempt to get in the offensive zone gets fanned on. And this will allow Colorado to be able to kill some time before Seattle spills back and gains the red line. As this is Matty Beniers. The first line's out for Dave Hextall's squad. As that pass goes a bit too far. And this is picked up now for Jordan Eberle. Jordan Eberle in the high slot, fake the pass, gets it now right wing side, working in behind the net. Matty Beniers sent it in the high slot, and this gets blocked off by a bunch of traffic of the Avalanche. And this is split back down the ice. Here's a chance for Eberle near the right side wall. Looking for Schwartz, and this is picked up. Kel McCarr will spin around, but he lost it. Jared McCann tries to put this around the end boards. It's a race for the puck right now. Couple of jabs at it. Or Trey Lackinen throws out in the middle. Into the empty net and scores! Mikko Rantanen. And this game's bottoms. It's over.
Yep.
The dagger right to the Kraken's hearts. That's got to be a painful sight to watch if you're one of the spectators at Climate Pledge Arena. Just to go out and support your team, and then that third period happens. You have 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, and then just when you're about to come right back, the fate is sealed.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this is only the 3rd game the series, and the Kraken did themselves a favor by taking that game on Colorado's ice, which I was not expecting at all. I was fully expecting Colorado to take at least one game on Seattle's ice. I was not expecting Seattle to win in a thin air zone like Colorado.
Yeah, they definitely stole one at Ball Arena, but now you have to look about in the landscape of this series. When they play again in a couple of days, that'll put you at the Monday side of it, that Seattle doesn't lose 4 straight games. That could very well happen. You think that they would take one, but to your point, Alec, on that side, who were the ones that scored in the third period? Mikko Rantanen, Nathan MacKinnon, and Rantanen again. That's heavy artillery, my friend. 1:32 left to go in this third as this gets recollected here. And did I lose Alec for a second there? Let me see. Yes, we did.
We did. It's
We got him back
still
in.
listed that he's a speaker, but I think he may be having connection issues. He was saying a couple broadcasts ago that the school Wi-Fi is always spotty.
No, it's fine. I was going to speak to this point in the sense of Rantanen, MacKinnon, and Rantanen. Those are the ones that finished it off. And now this will be sent back down with 1:20 left to go in the third. Again, within this full broadcast, this will be here with the broadcast and the story. And I should be back tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be a solo call or not for Dallas and Minnesota. And then I'll be done for a little bit here for the next few days, as this will be recollected here for Daniel Sprong. We're down to a minute left to go. McCann will shoot this one as bodies are just flying everywhere right now. And here's a half spin by Nathan MacKinnon. And he throws a reverse hit as this gets back in across the red line now. Picked up by Seattle in their own end. And Colorado is going to find themselves up 2-1. And this will be the only game that doesn't go into OT. But we will see what's going to be called now on the ice with 43 seconds left. Looks like Nathan MacKinnon's going to the box. Nathan MacKinnon's got some words. I want to make sure to see what this is going to be against. He's going to be called for a cross check.
But this is not going to matter much because the game's already sealed.
No, it's not. And again, I guess the one thing you can say for Seattle, if they don't score on this, technically it adds to their power play numbers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because that will continue to be a bagel on that end. Well, they'll be 0 for 11 if they don't score here. So 40 seconds left, and Seattle does score. They get right on the board. This is a slow knuckleball that goes in the net, and I think this is a chance for Jaden Shorts.
Well, I mean, of the two teams now, Seattle's the only one to convert on a power play kid, so yay.
So Schultz and Schwartz, they combined again, and this one was a deflection. It beat Gergia, but yeah, it's kind of our sarcastic golf clap yay, isn't it, Ian? You're correct about that.
Wait, hold on. It's like that. It's like that. I can't remember what game it's from, but it's like that meme. And there was one team posting, yay!
That's all it is. Right now is at 6-4, and it's 30 seconds left to go in the third. So 10 goals combined in between these explosive offensives. And now Seattle's got to essentially rush down the ice 2 more times, and they only got 20 seconds left to do so. So that doesn't look good, but here's the stretch pass from 100 feet as this gets recollected. And now the goal crease is vacated again, but this will be with Seattle. They have it now with 5 seconds left. They're going to lose their first ever playoff game at Climate Pledge, but again, what do you guys think? A 6-4 game. I mean, it's not too far to imagine that Seattle, again, they got scored on by Colorado. Grubauer didn't have the greatest game, but they still hung in there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It's another one of those games in which Seattle hangs in there and gives the Avalanche kind of a scare for. And they gave the Avalanche a scare for those 2 periods. But come that third period, that's when Colorado reminded Seattle who they are, and they did not let the hockey world down in Colorado on that part, on letting everyone know who they are.
But the fact of the matter is, John, Alec, if Seattle wants to win this series, we now know what the biggest factor is for this team. As of now, they are 1 for 11 on the power play. But remember, the Avalanche are 0-7 on the power play. If Seattle wants to win this series, they have to score on their power play chances, because despite not scoring much on the power play, they have killed every penalty that the Avalanche have had, and also limit the mistakes. Remember, JT Compher scored a shorthander early in the contest.
Yes, he did. And before we close everything out, we'll just let everybody know again, on the Monday side, it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern on TBS. It'll be the Avalanche and Kraken for Game 4. Again, as always, gentlemen, I appreciate it. I'm going to get the heck out of here and write the game story. Probably be on my own tomorrow, maybe not, but it'll be Minnesota and Dallas tomorrow before I get the heck out of here for the rest of the week. It might be Wednesday and Thursday. If I do get a chance to get any openings, I'll let you know about it. But there's not going to be a lot of assignments from me next week, so I hope you guys do well. Alec, do well with all of your finals and all that. I know graduation is an exciting time, my friends, so keep your head up and finish all that work. I know it's definitely a drag. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh,
Thank you.
We will see you guys.
Hey, good night, everyone.
good night, everybody.
Appreciate it on the YouTube side, guys. It was absolutely flowing tonight. There has been a ton of overtime games. I know Alec was getting some of that squared away when I was typing away on some of those things. So thank you guys. It's been a lot of foot traffic here. It was very exciting to have the first ever postseason game at Climate Pledge Arena, and I really appreciate it. I should be back tomorrow with the Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars. I think my friend Dustin Hall is going to join me for that one. That might be a little bit more of a lax cast. Again, I will lead the play-by-play on that side because he doesn't have a lot of experience with the color and all that. So he's good for basketball, but for hockey, might be a little bit of this. So I'll try to make sure that we keep everything all squared away. I work with Alec and Ian quite a bit, so I didn't want to. I'm not going to turn them any away. I like working with Alec. I know Ian's brought in. I want to be able to give him some stuff in there too, because if you want to join and have a good time, let them do that. Again, as far as next week, I'll let everybody know. So Monday, I'm going to be busy on that side, and Tuesday is my fiance Lauren's birthday. So Monday and Tuesday, I'll be gone next week. But Wednesday and Thursday will be open dates. As far as the NHL playoffs, I haven't worked with Cooper Hopkins yet. I know he's my normal broadcast partner. If you guys follow along with me, you know that we've worked a lot of games, especially when we covered the Calgary Flames quite a bit. I'll leave those days open, and I'll be in contact with him Wednesday or Thursday to try to get something going. But as far as the weekend for me, it'll be a couple of local assignments for the Waterford Sharks at the local arena because they're going to be in the playoffs, and I'm going to have to be busy on Saturday and Sunday. So the next YouTube broadcast for me will be Wednesday and Thursday. Those will be open assignments. I'll try to keep that open for Cooper Hopkins. But I will see you tomorrow for the Wild and the Stars. And PHW Made says Boston is the team to beat. Florida is giving them a heck of a run for their money right now. I'm very impressed at the way that they played, but I don't think you're wrong. And I think in a situation, PNW, I would like to be able to see the original six between the Rangers and the Bruins. That would be a lot of fun to watch if that comes to pass. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Man, these numbers continue to explode. We'll just give you, since all of you are in here right now, we just finished up between the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken. It was a 6-4 win for the Avs to take a key 2-1 series lead. They want to try to take the next one on Monday night on TBS. We'll see how that one goes. It was a final in 2 overtimes for Vegas and Winnipeg. They blew a 3-goal lead in the third, but VGK came back, won a 5-4 game. Toronto won in overtime 4-3 against Tampa, and New Jersey won in overtime. They took the first game of the series at MSG. They won 2-1. But our featured game, it was Colorado. It was a 10-goal outburst, but they won 6-4 against the Kraken. Again, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.